Hello?
Oh, we're live,
Oh,
but we're not
yeah.
live yet.
Yeah, like I said, you always have to move. You froze there. You got to make some kind of hand sanitizer. What do you think? The best of the animals.
There's always a record in the background every week. Paying attention.
What do you think? It's a little game. I move something.
It's fun to do.
I know. I move something. You know.
I always pick 6 records, and so one of them ends up in the back.
I have 6 records too.
One more minute, folks. One more minute. Welcome to the Surfing John Zone, the Spring Break Show.
It's not yet, dude.
Mark Chilton already entered the wings room. Awesome. So go ahead and sit there for 5 minutes or so. I already got 6 people watching the show. Hey, Joe Field already checking in pre-show. Pre-show jitters. Got pre-show jitters.
Hey, Joe, did Ohio State cover? Did Ohio State cover the 4.5? We're going to be talking about March Madness brackets for sure.
At some point.
Hey, Joe, can Joe hear me?
Hear.
Hey, Joe, they cover?
Sharon, folks, 1 minute to go. Hope you're there. Where are you anyway? I can't wait to have Billy Strings on the show. That's gonna be so fucking awesome.
You don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
No.
Wait a minute, I got a theme song for you. Wait, before we go any farther, you've gone too long without a theme song. It's time.
It's like a SpongeBob.
In a time of little joy, 2 guys from Illinois took fate in their own hands and sent the show out to the land. Art's not gonna get in here. Music plays for your good cheer. Think you're ready, then grab a beer. Come on, and watch the Phil and John show. Phil and John show. They're showing up and there's nowhere to go. Well, Phil and John show. Phil and John show. They're playing so hot that it's melting the snow. Yeah, Phil and John show. Phil and John show. Don't know where this will go. Phil and John show.
Thank you, Oliver Steck, for our theme song. Shout out to Oliver Steck.
Thanks for coming. Have a good night.
And that's it, folks. Have a good night. Yep. Hey, welcome
Happy
to
Friday, everybody.
45. The Phil and John Zone, week 45. 45 weeks in a row, folks. We haven't missed one yet, although I thought for sure we'd miss a couple. But for some reason, we're still here, just like John Hartford said. Hey, Cody Dekoff. What's up? Who's doing Cody Dykoff? Dekoff? Who's that? Cody somebody.
I like him. He's a good band, that guy.
I do like him. He's a wonderful person. His family and my family are pretty much the same family. It's a good thing. Yeah, spring break show. Happy spring break, Phil.
We're in Illinois. It's not like we're in Florida.
Well, the sun came out today. The sunshine.
Yes, it did. It's beautiful out. I can't wait to play in the yard and garden tomorrow. It's supposed to be about 60 up here outside of Chicago.
Yeah,
got a lot of transplanting. I got 2 greenhouses inside the house that I got to get some of these plants moving.
You're not outside yet, are you?
Yeah, they're not peppers and tomatoes. They're the early crops like beets, kale. I start them indoors early. They're already sprouted. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So I got my cow manure and dirt and ready to do some gardening.
Yeah, I got some indoor plants going too.
That's one of my zones is gardening.
Oh, me too. I think that I kind of lose it this time of year every year. It gets so cold and so dark for so long that I just can't wait. And as soon as I go outside and dig in the dirt just a little bit, I feel like the earth has just fed me all I need back to start the summer and get ready to do this crazy summer that's going to be awesome this year with some amazing things that are going to happen. Things are going to be going on. We're going to be outside with our friends. If we have to wrap in plastic, we're going out.
Yeah, I think it'll be. Yeah, I know it's going to be right. Not. I don't think. I know it's going to be okay. looking forward to doing the show personally again with you, and
Yeah, I do. I look forward to this every week, Phil. It's
in a
good.
backyard at one of your 3 or 4 summer solstice festivals this year. Excuse me.
June 19th, that weekend, we're going to do something out there, something small. It'll be word of mouth, but then I just said on the show, the whole world knows, I guess. But
Yeah, and a lot of the music festivals are booking up later in the year, and it's going to be really pick and choose. I mean, not pick and choose, but it's going to be fun,
yeah,
busy.
Get back outside with our friends and see some live music. And I'll say something to our good friend Chris Johnson. You never met Chris Johnson. I've never met Chris Johnson. He's my good friend Tom Johnson's brother. He's been logging in every week, and he's got some good. He said, "Did I miss roll call?" No, you're here, Chris. You're checked for attendance. That's cool. And we're going to bring in our guest tonight. He's actually from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, who's going to do 5 records with us. And he's somebody who I grew up with. I told the story about him before because he's asked me to do a couple projects. And we went to grade school together up until about 3rd or 4th grade, and he moved away. We're still friends. And so he's going to come on the show. He lives in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the home of Spring Break, the original Daytona Beach. Oh, you let that dog lick your face? You know what that dog's been licking?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. Your face.
No, I feed him garlic and shrimp upstairs.
Dogs are good. Garlic's good for dogs. Makes the fleas jump off them quicker.
Play in the dirt. You won't have germs.
Yep. So I guess if we're going to bring our guest in for 5 records, we should go ahead and bring him in, huh?
Correct. That would be fantastic.
His name's Mark, and we're going to bring him in the room here now. Mark Chilton is his last name if you really want to know his whole name. Oh, he's got look at him. Oh, are you there, Mark?
I'm here, buddy. Sorry, I had my microphone on mute. My apologies. That's like the new phrase of the year. I think you're on mute. With all the zooming everyone has to do now.
So, Mark, this is my good friend Phil in the other window.
Hello, Mark. How are you?
I'm excellent, sir. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How's your Friday? How's the weather?
I have to say it is pretty nice out. It's about 78 degrees and sunny with a nice breeze. Pretty typical for Florida winter down here.
Yeah. I mean, kind of a stupid question, actually.
A banjo in the background you got there, Mark?
It is. That's my dad's old banjo.
Wow.
That was my mom got that made for him. Probably 25, 30 years ago. And so after he passed, I was able to get that. It's really cool. It's got a cutout. It's got a lamination in it that is the shape of Shannon County, Missouri, which is where they're from. So pretty special. Yeah.
You ever pick it up and play it?
You know, I'm on the YouTube train with that a little bit. I love the banjo. A lot of people don't like it. I get it, but I'm from Missouri, so we kind of have it in our blood. But yeah, I would like to learn how to play it better.
Well, in our circle, there's almost always a banjo out there somewhere, and they are loud instruments. And there's a joke that goes along with. Well, it's not a joke; it's a story. This guy was carrying all his equipment into the bar after getting ready to do a gig, and the last thing he leaves in the car is his banjo. And he comes back to the car, and his window's busted out of his car, and somebody stuck another banjo in there.
Yeah, no, that's it's not the most popular of instruments. I understand that, but it's a lot of fun. I know my dad caught hell from it from all of his colleagues for years about the banjo. And Roger Smith is a cousin of mine from Salem, Missouri. Played with the Dillards for a while. He's a phenomenal banjo player, and has also subbed in with the Ozark Mountain Daredevils a couple of times. I noticed someone brought that album to 5 albums a couple of weeks ago. It was super cool. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
What do you mean a couple of weeks ago? You watched the show, actually?
Yeah, absolutely.
I watched that show. I know Mark since we were kindergartners, man.
Yeah, that's right.
When did you move? Like 2nd or 3rd grade?
So it was a little bit later than that, John. We moved because we moved right after 7th or 8th grade. I went to Thomas Jefferson for 1 or 2, and then we moved to Bethany, and then which is about 20 miles outside of town. And we just, I know we didn't really lose touch. We didn't just really see each other that much anymore.
I told that story. I said he was like my best friend, then he moved away, and we didn't see each other for 20 years. And then they're like, "Where'd he move to?" And I was like, "Well, like 2 towns over."
Right. And then after I went to UVI, my parents moved to St. Louis, so back to St. Louis. So I haven't been back to Central Illinois in quite a while, but I hit Crackles, of course, and monocles. But
I had Crackles today. I had a tenderloin sandwich today.
Son of a gun.
So freaking delicious. I skipped the fries now. If I'm gonna have a fried sandwich, I skip the fries. But I did pretty good for myself.
Good for you. That's pretty good.
Are you Are you watching any March Madness?
Yeah, I watched Illinois today, and I just watched Ohio State almost get beat. That would have
Well,
been
you're in
great.
Florida. Florida and Florida State are in it. Florida won earlier today.
Florida won earlier, yep. And the Illini look great. I'm really excited about us making a good run this
That's
year.
why I got picked in my brackets. Go
Really
Illini.
good for them this year. It's pretty incredible for Illinois. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really been fun to watch. I mean, I'm so glad that AO came back.
Yeah. Well, you know your hoops, so
I
okay.
think they were just shy to play in front of people, apparently. So when there was no people around, they could win.
Right. It's remarkable. But when they lost to Mizzou earlier this season, I'm like, oh God, this is going to be the same thing. But man, they are peaking at the right time. They look amazing right now.
Yeah.
I got them winning most of my. Yeah, I got them winning most of my brackets. Ohio State, what are they doing? Are they going to cover? I mean, they winning?
They didn't cover. They were up 2 points with 30 seconds left before I switched over to you guys. So
okay, I don't care about the cover as long as they win at that point.
They were up. They were a favorite by 4, weren't they?
Oh, come on.
Oh, it's an overtime. Wow.
Whoa!
They're losing by 3 in overtime.
They're losing by 3. Oh,
yeah,
that's
huge.
huge.
3 minutes left. Wow.
That's a bracket buster.
Yeah, it is. So, John, tell me a little bit how did this show get started? Like, how did you and Phil kind of link up? I know it sounds like you guys are buddies from the festival circuit, but this is a really cool thing you guys have been doing.
Yeah, normally me and Phil would only see each other 4 or 5 times a year at festival events that we go to, and so this year last year we didn't think we'd see each other at all.
Yeah,
so it became like let's do this instead, and just at least we get to hang out and shoot the shit, and a lot of our friends would be watching that are from our festival circuit up here, which is really cool. So,
well, you find this funny. So I've become pretty good buddies with Jared Mower over the last year. We're in a group together, and in Hawaii, yeah. And he's got a couple of John Griffin originals. So we were trading back some texts. I'm showing him mine stuff he's done for me.
How did you meet him? Through the internet?
So one of my best friends that I stayed in touch with from Decatur was Jason Small, and he went to MacArthur, and he's an attorney in Washington, D.C., and he started this really great group of people. It got a lot of us together, a lot of Decatur people, a lot of people that he went to Yale Law School with, and so we all just, we really formed this really tight group. And Jared and I hit it off immediately. He's a he's a DJ, and he loves music. He's just a great dude, man.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends that ain't around no more. That's for sure. And you're here for a reason. So hold on. Hey folks, it's time for 5 records here on the Phil and John Zone, where we get 5 records out and we just kind of show you what they look like and talk a little bit about them. And we'll bring our friend Mark Chilton in from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, since it is our spring break show, which I didn't think about until I was having you on the show. I was like, well, yeah, Fort Lauderdale is like that original spring break Daytona Beach party.
It's crazy.
I told everybody right spring break. We were hoping that you were on the beach with girls having Mai Tai.
Is it crazy?
Look, Florida's open. Yeah, like it is. The beach is absolutely packed, and it's a little disconcerting, but yeah, I mean it's jam packed. So we'll see what happens after that. But yeah,
that's awesome. So yeah, you got 5 records, Mark. You can start.
I certainly do.
You go first.
So I wanted to get one that. So I've got a lot of vinyl. However, most of my stuff is I've got a lot of hip hop 12 inches. That's basically what I like to play and DJ myself. But I do have a ton of stuff that I've collected over the years. And one of my favorite ones, number one, because the cover is so unbelievable, is Mr. Larry Gatlin here with the Gatlin Brothers Band. And I mean, if that is not the greatest 70s picture you've ever seen in your life, so they're great. This album has All the Gold in California, which is one of my favorite songs. It's a real they're just so fun to listen to, and they do a little bit of everything. They do some bluegrass, they do some gospel, they do a little bit of 70s rock too. When you go through their catalog, and I really, that's one of my favorite albums.
When we were kids, we were kind of force-fed country, and we kind of pushed it away a little bit. And we picked our own things, but as I got older, I started to have much appreciation for those albums that we were either given to us when we were kids. We were like, nah. Yeah, now it's like, this is my favorite record, Steve Goodman or whatever it is, And
oh yeah, absolutely. But it was funny. A buddy of mine was in town from Colorado this week, and I'm like, dude, we got to play some Larry Gatlin. So I broke this out, and I didn't even know it was coming on the show, and it was already out. So I didn't have to dig through the stacks of my disorganized collection to find it.
It's a real nice looking collection. Phil, you want to go next? I'll take the third, and then we'll
sure. We'll go with one of my favorite offshoot bands, the Honey Drippers. But it's a little Robert Plant. I think Zeppelin, so we'll go to Honey Drippers tonight.
Did Robert Plant have anything before the Honey Drippers? Did he do a Robert Plant
album? I'm not quite sure, but I don't think so. But he's done a lot of work with a lot of people since.
What band was he in originally?
it's probably not the band you're thinking of either.
Probably no. Before Led Zeppelin, I'm sure. Oh, I said it. I spoiler alert. Okay. Everybody's heard of Steve Miller Band. They know all the Steve Miller Band songs, but before those Steve Miller Band songs got recorded, there was a guy in the band named Boz Scaggs.
Yes, sir.
And he wrote, and the albums with Boz Scaggs are so different than the other albums. And somebody told me that's because Boz Scaggs left the band, and so they got to make all those pop songs and those hit songs. I like this one. I looked at it for a long time when I was a kid, before I saw this woman's hand right here.
Yeah.
On the bench. He's got his back turned to her, and then you turn the back of the album, and it's just the woman's hand, and he's gone. It says a lot.
That does say a lot.
It's subliminal seduction of the artwork. It's making you think, what's going on there?
Produced by Joe Wisser. This got the Lowdown on it. Everybody knows Lowdown. And
Lido Shuffle.
Lido Shuffle. This is a good album. This is an album my dad had growing up. And actually, all the albums I got today, I went to the record store today and bought. Because I had not been out of the house in 2 weeks, and I was going freaking nuts. And so I made an effort to go see a friend today, work on my car, and go to the record store. So I bought all new albums tonight. And they're not new,
cool.
They're new to me today. Because my dad's the copy was shit. But anyway, Boz Scaggs, yep. You're up, Marky.
All right. So this was a record I looked for about 2 years before I was able to find it. And this is a 12-inch hip hop single by UGK. And it's a picture album in the shape of Texas, because they're from Houston. And this is International Players Anthem, which is a song they did with Outkast. And they only made 100 of these, they only made 500 of these. And I looked for years. And number one, it's just super cool looking on the turntable when it's on there, and it's also one of my favorite songs.
Oh, that's the record. Texas is a record in Texas.
Yes, yeah. So actual Texas is the vinyl. So you can see it. It's wild. That's and cool. But yeah, so that's probably my favorite single. The record I looked for a long time without having to, of course you get it bought on eBay for some ridiculous price, but I did find this in a record store in Atlanta. So
nice. Yeah, the record store I went to today is owned by a friend of mine. He opened it up about 6 months before the COVID started. So I've been trying to go in there and support him every now and then. Just, I spend $20-$30. You buy some albums,
sure.
Put more to the stack.
Or go to record stores once a month to support the record stores and the artists. We buy local band art and records, and we love doing
same
that.
here. Yeah, same here. We've got a great record store down the street from me called Radioactive Records, locally owned. They support a lot of the bands in the area, and they're great people. They get so much new stuff in all the time too. It's amazing.
That's awesome, yeah. And now things are all going to vinyl, so everything's coming out. Like the stuff I'm designing is going. We're designing it originally for vinyl records.
Are you?
Yeah. Last 4 albums I think I worked on were all straight to vinyl, and then CD came later. Like down the road, they decided to do CDs and other things with it, but no cassettes anymore. But that's okay.
All right, go check out Kiss the Sky record store in Batavia, Illinois. Go check out the Secondhand Tunes in Crest Hill, and my buddy's record store outside in Joliet, Phil's record store. Forgot the name of it, but
Phil,
great records.
We're having technical difficulties. Phil keeps kind of bouncing in and out, so we'll have to wait a second until he comes back. I'll just go in his place, then we'll bring him in after me. My next record is Stanley Jordan, Magic Touch, just like jazz guitar record.
Yes.
I'm going through the guy. He's got a lot of really nice records in there, and they're only $20, $16, $50, $150, and he's got this $2 bin. And I just go through there, and I always find a handful of stuff that I just love, just to have. And this is almost all instrumental music, but it starts off with Eleanor Rigby, and just goes through a whole bunch of really fun stuff with just a master guitarist playing master jazz guitar.
Super cool.
Yeah. And I heard his name before for playing with other people and whatnot, but I had to get that. So Phil, if you're gonna freeze up, we're just gonna let you sit there for a minute. But it's okay.
All right, want me to go again?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. We'll bring him back in a minute.
So this is one of my all-time favorite albums from probably one of the most underrated bands of the '90s, which is Sugar. Bob Mould's kind of passion project. I've loved Bob Mould ever since Husker Du, and really he's still putting out great music. But this is. Oh my God, he's phenomenal. And the Silver Age, one of his new albums, was incredible. But this is the classic. Even though, and it also has the Beaster album was included in this one, which is super cool, which are a lot of his B-sides. So every single song on this album is magic. I can listen to the entire thing all the way through and not stop.
There he is.
All right.
I need to get back. Phil, we went ahead and go ahead, Phil. We stepped out of order, but you go ahead and go again.
Oh, do you miss my Paul McCartney?
Did you show us one?
We didn't see it.
I was talking about it all. I love that picture of Paul and Linda That's the back of the cover.
This is the one I bought today. I actually bought a Wings album today too.
Oh, nice.
It's not my shower. This is just another one I got. It's not even got a lot of popular. It's got silly love songs on it.
We've been doing this. We don't tell what we're going to pick up, but one weekend, Mark, we picked out the same album, so we didn't know. So.
It was
That's
one of
cool.
the first weekends we did it. We both grabbed it.
Yeah, it was the Beach Boys. Yeah.
Beach Boys.
Yeah, it was like that.
It's up there on the wall.
He freaked out because he had it right there in his stack too. So it's.
Am I down one?
You're okay. We're going in a circle.
Okay.
The funny thing is, like, we go back and forth, and it's 2 people, it's easy, but as soon as it gets to be 3 people, it's so confusing. That's not the
It just goes off the. It just goes off the rails, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Going on the crazy train.
So you're up, Mark.
All right. So you
Hey.
will appreciate this one, Mr. Griffin. This is a reissue of the classic,
One of the best
Paul's
albums of all
Boutique.
time.
the best album probably of all times.
Yeah.
And this one does have the full cover art
Mhm.
that MCA took with the wide angle camera in New York. That was the way
Wow.
the album was originally
Man.
intended to come out. And
It's got lyric sheets inside of it too. It doesn't have lyric sheets in it.
It does. It's got everything. It's a really cool
Holy
reissue.
moly.
Yeah, it's a really. I mean, it's an amazing piece of art itself, and it's really cool. It's got the vinyl itself's the reissue, so like classic Beastie Boys purple. It's just awesome. So I looked for it. I found this actually.
Can I paint on that?
You can't. There's that album influenced me in so many ways.
Oh my
I
God.
didn't know it. I
I
didn't know
know.
it was going to make me a Led Zeppelin fan, a Bill Monroe fan, a Zap Batten fan. I mean, there's so much. The Dolomite fan. There's so much stuff on that record.
Every time you listen to it, you hear something new. The samples are so thick, and the Dust Brothers production on that is legendary. And you'll tell, like Questlove said, hey, he was kind of disappointed in Beastie Boys' story because they didn't get into Paul's Boutique as deep as he wanted to. Because he said, dude, that's the most influential hip hop album of all time. Almost you talk to any DJ from the '90s, and that album influenced their sampling, and just it's magic.
And Mark, if you listen to that album, and then you listen to old radio or like rock and roll radio, you hear all those songs.
I
The
know,
Led
it's
Zeppelin, the Black
crazy.
Sabbath, the stuff. There's a YouTube video out there. I think it's just like Paul's Boutique samples, and it's a video playing the album and showing every single place where everything came from
Unreal.
David Bromberg to just, I mean, it goes, and their record collection must have been awesome.
Oh, I mean,
With
it's
their-
unbelievable. I mean, and the problem is, and the thing that's sad is you can't ever make a record like that again because
No.
it's because of the sampling laws. And
It wasn't long after that whenever everything became illegal and no fun, and they
yeah,
everybody-
which to some degree has been very detrimental to hip hop, in my opinion, moving forward over the last really 15 to 20 years. Yeah, there's some great artists out there and still continue to do great work, but the loss of the ability to sample without, these budgets, these records are made on a budget, a lot of them, right? And the samples are so amazing, but you get introduced to funk, jazz. I mean, all types of genres from it. So I think we've lost something with that, honestly.
And then the poetry of those guys writing and MCA and everybody. I mean, that just goes without saying that's one of the best albums of all time, Paul's Boutique.
All
for
time.
sure.
Absolutely.
This is my next one. It's a Diana Ross and Marvin Gaye album.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I found that today. I mean, I pulled that out of the stack so quick. I was like, that is so cool. And yeah, yours folded out. Mine folded out too.
Wow, look at that. That is unbelievable.
I haven't even spun it yet because I just got home about an hour ago, but it's going to be on my, I know. I mean, you don't really have to guess. They could
No.
both be pooping in
You
the
know
back.
what's going to be.
So
Somebody's going
good.
to tell from the album cover how amazing an album is going to be.
Yeah, and there's
right?
those two characters together in one place, Diana Ross and Marvin Gaye. That's pretty heavy duty stuff, man.
That is heavy duty, dude.
So I had to get it. It was $1. What are you gonna do? I paid $3 for that one, but shit, worth it.
You swore you're not supposed to $1 in the jar.
All right, Phil, I'll call your checks in the mail, Phil.
We're gonna go with one of my favorite keyboardists, and I've seen this band 5 times, and In the Round, and love them. Rick Wakeman of the band Yes, a big fan of Yes.
Wow, that's cool.
Look at all those keyboards. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Is that like a grand keyboard in the background there? Look at that crazy sucker.
Yeah, there's some interesting equipment in that production studio. There's a bunch of stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love the cover. I'm a big fan of Yes, the band, live and their studio albums, and dig,
A broken heart. That's better than a.
All
Mark,
right.
what's up, bud?
Mark, you're up.
All righty, so
Hey,
we're gonna
real quick
finish
announcement.
these.
It's 420 out there, folks. Just pass it on. That's all.
420. What is that? Oh, I know that younger generation. Oh,
Uh-huh.
we have
Football
to
play. 420. Hi.
okay.
There's got to be
I have
an
to.
international. There's got to be a study done on where that came from. I'm sure it's out there, but
The people
I
that
first
claim
learned about
it-
it in college.
There are people that claim it, but I don't know. I just thought it was 420 is a great time to smoke because by 5 o'clock at dinner, you're going to be super hungry.
Yeah, that's fair. Agreed. Agreed. So look, I'm going to finish things off with probably one of the most influential albums, and it's nothing that's not been popular, but 36 Chambers of the Wu-Tang Clan. You're looking at an album that has got people that have won Academy Awards for sound production in Hollywood movies, like the RZA, and almost every member of this group had massive solo careers, and they all did their own record deals. So it was very revolutionary for New York hip hop. Number one, they were from Staten Island, right? Not from Queens, not from the Bronx or Manhattan. To get a group together like that had that much success, and people, the members of that group, like Method Man, have gone on to just incredible careers. But that album is, again, one of those ones. Every single song on that album is a classic, and it's just so rare to do that because we're just a single based society now, with streaming, and to put together a full album is just, it's really hard to do now. So
I didn't know Method Man was a musician. I like his movies.
Yeah, he's great.
I'm just teasing
right.
you.
And then some of those guys.
I'm just teasing you. Yeah, but yeah.
No, you're right.
I went to summer camp in school about 5-6 years ago, and it was like Willie Nelson, Los Lobos, and Method Man and Redman were there, right? Method Man, Redman, and I had backstage access to everything all weekend long.
Oh,
I
man.
couldn't get backstage to those guys.
No,
the only one. They were like, nope, we don't care who you are. You can't come.
You're not getting back.
I stood at Willie's bus. I mean, I was Los Lobos having beers, but I couldn't get to the backstage with them.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah, I mean, and Method and Red's Blackout album, when they collaborated on that, was also phenomenal in the mid '90s. I lived in Los Angeles at the time when that came out, and just what that group has done, including Old Dirty Bastard and R.I.P. It's amazing what those guys have done.
Yeah. Now this one is sort of themed for the spring break show. Jan and Dean, Fillet of Soul, a live one.
Wow.
I had to go for one surf album. It's another one I found today. And he's got like a broken leg in the picture. I love it. Like, oh, go ahead and take the picture. He's got a crutch. He's holding the crutch, and he's got a broken leg. It's excellent.
That's excellent.
That's my surf album. Yeah, Lightning Strikes. You got to hide your love away. You got to hide your love away. The Beatles song, Hang On Sloopy. This is a cool album. I'm more of a Beach Boys fan by far. Jan and Dean were cool. They were like the other Beach Boys. But that's kind of cool for today for the Fort Lauderdale.
I love it.
Spring break.
Another great cover too.
Yeah, it's just good stuff.
We're gonna go with Dr. Demento.
Oh wow, yes sir.
That's a good enter.
Dr. Demento.
He's got fish heads on it.
No, I'm not sure, John. I do not see that on this one. I have another one, a different one. Yes, Dr. Demento. Radio. I don't know how to explain it, but if you know who Dr. Demento is, that's Dr. Demento.
I think he gave me a lot of music that I would have found otherwise.
Correct.
Stuff you never would have found. Hey, Drew, how are you doing? Okay, just
back in the era when you listen to radio at late night and you tweak with the little knob to get certain stations from certain places. And
we indicated.
I'm older than both you guys, but anyway, you had to do
about
that.
3.5 hours from Chicago.
I think it was 11 o'clock in Chicago. Dr. Demento was on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when we were kids in Decatur, we're 3.5 hours away. But if you got the good antenna, you could pick up WLS. You could.
Channel. And
I could get Chicago radio, and it's pretty dope.
Yeah, you live like fucking 45 minutes from there. Excuse my language, but you live pretty close.
Yeah, that was one thing I really missed. Like we had to get all our music imported from tapes.
Yeah.
Like we had to have a friend of ours in Chicago. Dude, will you please tape the B96 house music show and send the cassette to me? And like there was a whole. You sit there and I would sit in my bedroom, just listen, waiting for the song to come on, hit and record so I could make a tape. And it's just bizarre that's the way we got music back then compared to today. It's incredible.
I missed the old mix. I missed the cassette tapes and stuff like that.
I do too, dude. Yeah. I've still got a pretty good collection of cassettes. I don't have a very good player right now, but I have been looking for a vintage one. I've got one in particular I'm looking for that'll match with my I've got to match my Pioneer receiver that I got a PX 980 Pioneer, which that thing bangs, and but it's so good for rock. And
we just girlfriend just picked up some giant Marantz speakers.
The best
with the woofers. I mean, like 3 feet tall. For dirt cheap.
They make a little speaker this big that does that now. But
I understand that, but they're in the wooden thing. It's an old memory of the old memory bank. I'm psyched to plug it in or hook it up.
I started piecing together a vintage system during COVID. I've been wanting to do that for a while. So I've got the Pioneer receiver. I've got some phenomenal Sensui 7-way speakers that have the wood lattice, like hand carved wood lattice in the front. I found those in a junk store around here, just pristine condition.
Right. it was at an estate sale and it was a steal and a half. The names you brought up, the quality of, Morant,
Yep.
Pioneer, Turner. There's boom.
Yep.
That's it. It's yeah.
And these old receivers that they're so powerful, but they're so beautifully designed too. I mean, just the materials, everything clicks and it's very mechanical and analog, and it's just so fun to. The music just sounds better.
All you got to do is pick up something. If it's heavy, it's quality.
Right, exactly.
Or from Germany.
Or Germany, yeah. Well, Mark, it's good to see you, man.
Man, dude, John, thanks for having me on, dude. You got this. You're so.
Let's hang out and talk a little bit more sometime and spend some time just shooting the shit about.
I'd like to do that, buddy. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Nice to meet you, Mark.
You too, Phil. Thanks, guys. Peace out.
See you down the road.
Got it.
Someday we'll get the rights to play some of the songs off our records. Scott Tipping is waiting in the waiting room. Should we just go ahead and bring him in now?
No, give him like 10 more minutes.
Make him wait. We'll just sit here and do dead air for 10 minutes before he comes in.
Yeah.
He's
Let him wait in the backyard.
He's in the front yard. There he is, man. Let's get him his audio hooked up here.
Hello?
Hello, Scott.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, hang on. Let me switch the view here. There you are.
Yeah, man. Good to see you, buddy. How you been?
Good to see you both. I've been okay.
Hello,
yourselves?
Scott.
Hello.
Same here.
Hello,
okay,
happy Friday.
That's what we can expect right now.
Yeah, I like the record segment. I actually remembered, well, a bunch of those records, but in particular, when my parents got their first CD player, that Stanley Jordan record was one of the first CDs my dad bought. And that version of Eleanor Rigby blew my mind. Like, that was just so
I saw that
beautiful.
track on there and I immediately picked it up out of the stack. I was like, I gotta have that. It's a couple $. You can't beat it.
Good call.
Yeah. Very.
What
good,
else
very
is
good.
happening, fellas?
Well,
We're waiting for the venue to open up live so we can see you play up. I live like 5 minutes away, Scott. So when is it going to be live outdoors?
Soon. They
Like next weekend?
I wish it was next weekend. They have to follow the protocol of the city of Aurora, so it's going to be a little bit before they get outside, but they're planning a great calendar, and it's going to be cool once we can get out there.
Yeah, I just want to bring up that you're like right up there, a couple minutes from the venue from me, and you guys are playing in there, and I can't go check it out. It's pretty, and you play with a lot of great musicians up there throughout this.
I know Scott mainly from Backyard Tire Fire, but you also play with a few other people. I saw you with Old Shoe a couple summers ago when you stayed in for Paul, and
yeah.
What other projects do you have going on there?
Sunbeard.
Sunbeard.
Of course, Sunbeard. Oh my goodness, yeah, what a band.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, right now the main things that I do would be Sunbeard. I play with Wayne Baker Brooks, a blues guy.
Really?
Yeah, Backyard Tire Fire is back up and again. I have my own little band that plays a lot of local stuff, and then I pick up all kinds of crazy things. I'm pretty lucky to work.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I'll see you at the Law Office coming up. Law Office has been opening up in Yorkville.
I've heard that. I think we played there the January right before lockdown or something like that. That was one of my last trio gigs. That was a good time. I like the Law Office.
Yeah, it's very eclectic up there. Yeah, I'll see you up there. Yeah, you've played up there a few times.
I first discovered Backyard Tire Fire at the Decatur Celebration, actually. I'd heard of him before that, and I kind of knew who Ed was. We were playing at, we were on the stage down the street from you guys, and we played a set, and then you guys played a set, and then we played a set, and then you guys played a set. And we know each other then, but I like checked you out and walked back and forth and saw the music, I really like what you guys do in Backyard Tire Fire. It's always been a super inspirational show for me. Heavy, just awesome rock and roll music. It's amazing, and a little Neil Young in there. Well, so not even Neil Young, like a Crazy Horse touch in there, and then like all kinds of good things. And we had Ed on a couple weeks ago, and I've been trying to have you on for a while. I'm glad you could make it this week for sure.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was gonna say, I played the last 3 years with Tire Fire. I was touring with them, so I wasn't. I obviously didn't do their when they were born in their inception. But Ed and I have known each other since like the mid '90s, and there came a point in time where he was like, "I want to add another guitar." Yeah, I love his writing, and I love the sound of that band. I'm sure Ed talked to you about it, but we just finished first recording in like 10 years, which has been really uplifting thing throughout the pandemic to be working on stuff. Sunbeard actually just finished a new record. I was listening to new mixes today. So there's, you know, it's cool. We're getting outside again, and two projects that I love dearly have a bunch of new music coming out.
I am super psyched.
Pretty
I'm
neat.
super psyched.
We
to
just got
see,
that last Backyard Tire Fire show at the Black Dirt Festival last summer.
Yeah.
Was so good. Oh man, you don't know how bad I needed that day, and how good it was, and then all the music that we had that day was just amazing and wonderful. And I give you guys props for what you're doing, and how you're doing. The two guitars is a good idea. And
Yeah.
both of you have your own style, but you fed off each other, and you don't. There's not even like a rhythm guitarist really. It feels like you guys are both. I would say you're both lead guitarists.
Oh,
Is that fair to say? I mean,
Yeah, we trade a lot. You know, I was just telling somebody the story the other day because we did we did it 2 years in a row, the Cub opener for WXRT. And there's this morning, we had to get there super, super early. And I was the first one there, and I was in the alley with my amplifier, and I couldn't get in. They weren't going to let me in yet. And the guy who happened to play before us was John Hyatt, and he comes out and I'm sitting in the alley. It's like 7 a.m, and somebody had given me a beer. They're like, you can't bring in your amp yet, but you can have a beer. And I'm like, okay. And John Hyatt just looks like this vision. He's all decked out in this suit. He's got the shades on. His hair is perfect. And he goes, what's the name of the band? And I said, Backyard Tire Fire. And he repeats it. And then he goes, what are the pieces? And I said, 2 guitars, bass, and drums. And he looked at me and he smiled and he said, why mess with a classic? And then walked on.
That's cool.
And there is something about 2 guitars, bass, and drums that when it's done right, it still works, you know?
Yeah, right on, right on.
you take the trio and you add just another layer of guitar on top of that and feed back and forth. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
You guys, the voices are always so good. Like you said, his writing and the way that the songs get produced is
And I'm a big fan of John Hyde. I get to see him twice in concert at smaller venues, and it was absolutely fantastic.
He's got a cool voice. He's got a cool individual style. He is John Hyatt. There's no other person that really
No?
stands next to him. It just when you hear his voice, you see him play. He's just one of a kind. I mean, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. And he did have that, he had that aura about him of being John Hyatt. That's kind of the cool thing when you meet somebody who's like an amazing writer, or somebody that you know and you have their records or whatever, and all of a sudden you're in front of them and you go, holy shit, it's them. And then they actually end up being decent human. You know,
Yeah.
I get starstruck by meeting people like you and some of the people I've been on our show and throughout my life. But when I meet them, I just try to be normal, like I'm trying to be now. But beforehand, I'm like, and it's like when John says we're going to have so-and-so on, and we're going to have Scott Tipping, he told me yesterday. I'm like, man, I remember him in Backyard Tire, and he's going to be on our show. It's pretty,
We are live.
thank you for coming on, Scott.
Oh, come on, man. Thanks for having me.
Really, it is. It really,
And we need to consider, I see records just in the background of your image right there, so we need to consider Scott for a 5 records one of these nights, too.
I would love that. I was jealous I didn't get asked for that.
I didn't think about that because
I never know until after we get somebody if they even have records. You know, some people have records, but they're in storage. I hear all these excuses, you know, but it's like
we might be at Kiss the Sky tomorrow picking out some albums. I talked to Steve. He's got a great station there, and the sound is fantastic. You know that, Scott, right? Isn't it?
Oh yeah, I've played there a bunch. That's great.
Yeah.
And Steve has been devoting a lot of time back to his store, so
That's what I'm talking about. I was at his store. Yeah.
Well, I brought just to show you guys. This is my Ethel Merman disco record.
That's an early version of remixes right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite the Honey Drippers, but
see, that's something I pull out of all the albums I go look through. I'm like, oh, this is something I probably have to have. You know, that's great.
I have been doing. Go ahead, Phil.
I think you're a phenomenal guitarist. What is one of your favorite guitarists? What is influential guitarist? And what's one of the favorite guitarists you played with on stage?
Okay. Well, okay. There's a couple things that stick to mind. I mean, one, as far as a favorite guitar, my personal favorite guitar to play is I have a gold top Les Paul. That's really I play a lot of different guitars, but anytime I pick that up, I go, why am I playing anything else? As far as people that I'm influenced by, I'll get to some of that, but I want to tell you guys this story because I was thinking about points of interest. I come in and out of the show now and again, and I hear you guys talking about things. And so I thought, well, I got to have a couple things to talk about. I will tell you one of the most monumental influences on my life, and one of the things that just blew my fucking mind, as a kid. When I was in 7th grade, my dad got 4 second-row seats to see Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble with Greg Allman opening. And he couldn't, like 2 weeks before, he couldn't go. And you know, it's funny because we always talk about what a good influence my dad was, because my dad's a musician, and obviously I learned a lot from him. But my mom was like, oh, you can't miss that concert. And so she drove 3 7th grade boys to Poplar Creek to see Greg Allman and Stevie Ray Vaughan, which, I mean, we were right next to Greg's B3 and where Stevie's amp were. And when Stevie came out, he opened with Sang Swang, and that literally changed my life. As far as being a guitar player or anything, it just made me want anything to do with guitar and learn everything that he was influenced by. And Stevie was a great teacher. When he gave interviews and such, he was always talking about the people that turned him on. You know, he was never a guy to take credit for himself. He was always like, if you haven't heard Otis Rush, you got to hear Otis Rush. So that was a big influence. And as far as people I've played with, I've been very lucky, you know, to play with some amazing guitar players. And I'll tell you, the people that I play in bands with, Ed, Matt Robinson and stuff, these are people I love dearly playing with. I mean, I've got to sit in with some people that are mind-blowing. A local guy from Bloomington, Tommy O'Donnell. I will say that I've played with Tommy a few times, and he's literally a guy that I've stood next to him while he's playing and not been able to understand anything that he's doing on the neck, or like I don't know what's going on.
Non-readable hands.
Totally. Yeah, he's from outer space, that guy, you know.
Tommy O'Brien?
Tommy O'Donnell.
O'Donnell, sorry.
Yeah, Tommy O'Donnell has a record called Pioneer Maintenance that Ed Anderson and I believe that someday will be found in a time capsule, and people will be like, this is the greatest record. Why has nobody heard of this album? It's unbelievable.
Something I said to Matt Robinson, maybe last Shoe Fest or Shoe Fest before that, we were talking, and, you know, I said, a lot of people talk about how lucky they were to be in like San Francisco in the 60s, or they were lucky to be, you know, in New York in the CBGB days or something like that. But I told him, I said, I'm lucky because I get to watch old Shoe play, and I get to see Chicago Farmer play, and Ed Anderson and Tire Fire and Jake and all. I mean, how lucky are we to have these musicians just in our circle of friends? I mean,
it's mind-blowing, and what gets me is it really is the community that we hoped it would be, meaning the cross-pollination, the way people like to sit in with one another, the support that people give. You know, there's when you have a night off, you want to go support other bands, they come support you. It is a magical scene. You know, we're very fortunate.
We are. Illinois in general, like Northern Illinois to all the way to Southern Illinois. There's so much music you can't. I mean, anywhere. And I think probably that's like anywhere you're from, but you have to reach out and find it. You know,
right?
Look for the music and stuff. But once you discover it, and those shows, like I said, you know, the Grateful Dead, things like that people really looked up to in the past, and they think that was the good old days. You know, but no, we're in the middle of something pretty crazy right now. And someday we're gonna look back and go, remember that, man? Remember Shoe Fest? Remember when we did that and we slept in the river or whatever happens? You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I'm constantly amazed and influenced by the surroundings here, you know, and it's wonderful to see people continuing with their work and just releasing album after album of great material and great songs. I mean, people like Cody and Ed are writing some of the best songs they ever have at this point in time.
I think those songs are going to go down in history. Some of them they're writing, and they feel small right now, you know, maybe because they're in our local communities or playing in Illinois or whatever. But so there's some really important stuff being written down. And not to be taken for granted at all, because like I said, those guys.
Can I be funny for a second? I don't want to Zoom anymore. I want to see all guys live.
Yeah, we all do.
I don't want to hear Zoom anymore.
I love the feeds and stuff, but there is definitely something missing. You know, the other night Cody did a show, and it was his Tuesday night show. At the end, kind of ended on like kind of a low note. He was playing "Going Down the Road Feeling Bad" and the Worried song, and then he just kind of stood up and said thanks, and pushed the button. And there's just something that just doesn't. It's not what we're, you know, like the idea that we need to scream and yell and yeah and scream and getting back out on the stage and having him get his guitar, come down the front, whatever it is. That's missing, but it's coming back. It's coming back. You know, Cody asked me today if I want to come do when the Rose Bowl opens up their beer garden, if I want to come paint again. So I'm looking forward to that and doing the live.
Oh, that's great.
You know,
Hey
so,
Scott, have you been?
hold on. He'll be back in a second, Scott. That's Phil's internet connection. He's in his basement, and sometimes he'll disappear. Sometimes he'll come back. We'll just let it float as it happens. You know.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm happy things are opening up. I feel very fortunate that I've been able to do the live streams that I've been able to, but from an artist perspective, we completely miss the energy of an audience, the feeding of it, and then the after show where you just get to hang with your people and you know, discuss. All right, what were you going to ask, Phil?
The new venue in Aurora, Arcadia?
The Piazza?
Piazza, that's it. Great stuff. I heard Miles Nielsen, Rusted Hearts, Ernie Hendrickson played up there.
Right.
A lot of good stuff. Grateful Gathering, a lot of good music coming up there. What's that about? The venue, is it something new?
I've never been in there personally. I know Nick Leroy's been doing a bunch of shows out of there, and I might be associated with a show coming up there towards the end of April. But I've heard great things about the place. I've never been in there, but it's exciting to see another good venue popping up around there, and that's a big place too.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw just pictures of it in the background with, wow, that's a big place.
The thing about our music scene is if something stops, if a festival stops or a venue closes, it seems like two more pop up.
Yeah,
I'm glad. I think the stimulus checks got to the music venues to try to save them, like the Empty Bottle in Chicago, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not just that place, but I do believe he gave it to music venues to try to keep staying open. And I do believe the Double Door, I've seen you guys, I think you guys played Backyard Tire Fire at Double Door back in the day.
Yeah,
I believe I saw you back in the day, and I think they're moving and reopening somewhere. I heard stuff like that. So.
They closed at one point, didn't they? I mean, obviously.
Yes, that was eclectic, man. That was an eclectic place. I can tell you a million stories about that place.
Now, you guys are in the Chicago area. When I grew up down here, and St. Louis was our show. The Mississippi Nights was the name of the place. I don't know if you ever got to go to Mississippi Nights on the Cleves Landing, and we saw bands, and Fish played in there. It's a bar. Chili Peppers, Nirvana. We saw so many bands in there. And then one day, the Bottle Rockets played a show, and then they closed it down. It was over, and it was sad to see a venue like that. That's in my heart and soul. It's like the Warfield to me, that little tiny bar, and it was a shitty little bar. I look back at some of the interviews or some of the little clips from the online. I was like, that was a tiny little place we were seeing these bands in. You know, how did they get away with that?
I never got to go there personally, but I used to work at Mother Murphy's, and one of the things we had was a '90s Morphine show that somebody had recorded for Mississippi Nights, and it was like the most rockin' show, the most rocking crowd. Like it was the one that everyone went to when Morphine was mentioned.
I never been in a crazier little spot, and I was the underage kid. I was 17, 18, so we got pushed up in the little pit area, and it was always crowded, But I saw Nirvana in there, and they kicked the kid out for stage diving, and so Kurt stops the show, and he says, "All right, everybody on the stage." So the whole pit gets up on the stage, like 50, 100 of us. I was up on the stage with Kurt Cobain. I stood on the stage with Kurt Cobain, right? That's my claim. But, and then he said, all right, now everybody's going to stay. And when the pit moved up onto the stage, well, everybody behind the pit moved into the pit. Back in the mosh pit days, And then Kurt starts counting them off. He's like, all right, we're all going to stage dive one at a time until they let that kid back in. Basically, we're not going to play any more music, and all these people are going to be pissed. And so we all stage dove off one at a time, but nobody left the pit area. So after we all jumped back into the pit, nobody could move.
Wow.
Not like a mosh pit circle. It was just a jello mold of people for the rest of the show.
That's unbelievable.
Mosh pit, you young generations nowadays.
That doesn't exist so much anymore. That doesn't. I guess if you go to some really hardcore shows, it's still there. But I went and saw the Violent Femmes recently, and it was pretty mellow. We're all older now,
I think that's amazing, though, and I mean that's one of the things, obviously. that we miss is that when you go to a show, we were talking about this at the venue. We do a little thing called the Venue for Venues, where we bring in different venues and musicians to talk about a place and try to raise some money for the place. And me and Paul Bolger were having a conversation about how when you go to a live event, something transpires that can never take place again. It's a complete unique experience, or a festival you go to or wherever. It's like that moment in time stays here and here, but it's gone afterwards. You can't recreate it. And there's a magic of that. There's a magic in the fact that you happen to be at this show where Cobain brought, including yourself, on a stage. That's something that will never go away here. That's magic, you know.
And recordings will never touch it. I mean, the recordings are great. I love that there people can record stuff, and that's great. But it'll never really. It just doesn't ever hold. The microphone's not an ear, and it's not a brain,
No.
and it's not a heart. You know.
Right.
And I can say so many times where I've been not sure what was going on in the world, and I go to some cool little music show or something, and I come out of it like I've been through 6 months of therapy and antidepressants. My life is wonderful again, and all that feeling of the music and the people, you know. And that,
Hey, Scott, did you hear about the Kenny Wade Shepherd getting pulled from the Grammy?
I did hear that. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
did he say something stupid, or did he?
No.
He recreated the General Lee, and he had a guitar with the Confederate flag on it, you know.
Probably not wise right now. No.
No.
But
Listen,
he got pulled from the Grammy. Just, I mean,
Well,
I'm a big Kenny.
it was the Blues Awards. It's not a Grammy.
it's kind of the
Okay.
wrong thing to protest. It's kind of the wrong side of the protest, if you ask me. And no, that's just my opinion. But
No, but the reason I'm bringing it up was it was on. But Kenny Wayne Shepherd, I got to see him in concert at Naperville Rip Fest, and he was a very great guitarist.
I know he's very talented. I guess the thing that I would say about that is that this was a Blues Awards Foundation.
Okay.
And Kenny's music is based off of black music, you know? So it's like walking around with that flag, and you made a living off of that kind of music. I don't know if that's really wise. You know?
No, that wasn't wise. I didn't. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and he made a statement that was kind of crass, where he said, "Hey, I make a living off of playing African American music, therefore I get a pass on a flag like this." And it's like,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Not cool. Not cool. Not
And
cool.
like the opposite thing that happened this year was when Jason Isbell walked out of the Country Music Awards because they didn't say anything about John Prine.
that's right.
And he was like, "F you guys, you don't know what you're even talking about when it comes to songwriting."
Yeah.
You know. And
Yeah, that was.
that's
Yeah,
open protest. You know?
they said nothing about John Prime. That is correct. Yeah.
And now the
Yeah.
Grammys, they did a really nice thing for him. It was awesome. I mean, he's that there again. That's one of the best of all time for sure. Just wordsmiths.
Absolutely. Here's a moment in time for you. I don't know if it's on the same level as Cobain, but you'll appreciate this. One of the places I play, Space in Evanston, I was playing there with a singer-songwriter that I play with a few times a year. He's one of my favorite people named Peter Himmelman. And I was going to do sound check, and I'm walking in with my guitar, and literally John Prine is walking out with his guitar. And I was like, John Prine, I mean, like, and it was a rainy, shitty Chicago day, and he's holding his kind of neck down, and he's got his guitar, and he just said hello, and I just said hello. There was no magic meeting or anything like that. But apparently he had rented space to shoot like a live video. And that's a moment that I'll never forget. Like John Prine.
Yeah.
John Prine, you know, like right there. I never got to see him live, but I did get to say hi to him, and he said hi to me in the rain once.
Hey, that's cool.
So
Let's go.
I'm a big fan of Peter Himmelman.
Me too.
Me too. I'm not sure the songs. I can't name them, but yes, I'm an XRT guy, and yes, a big fan.
He's one of my favorite people to work with, and I probably should have mentioned him up top, but we only play like about a half dozen plus shows a year. Peter, he's in New York State now, and he'll fly in and do shows, and obviously because of the pandemic, we just haven't done anything. But he's a brilliant writer, and he's a dear friend of mine.
Well, fantastic.
We're all
Name is Peter. What is the name of his hit song that XRT in rotation is?
I don't know.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
He's there's a few. Yeah. Anyway, Peter Himmelman, fantastic.
Yeah.
So Scott Tipping, have any music he'd like to play? Do you guys feel like doing anything like that tonight, Scott? We don't put pressure on our musician friends, but if they want to play a song or if they feel up to it, they can. I mean, it's.
You don't
I can
need
do
this pressure on.
I can do that. I don't know how it'll sound, but hang on, let me get a guitar.
That's fine. That's fine. Take your time. We're doing a. I'm trying. I think I'm going to go back through all these shows. 45 shows. We've had a musical guest on probably 42.
I'm
or
intrigued
of them.
by this Peter Himmelman. As soon as I'm off, I know that song. It's
There's,
just fantastic.
There is something that happens with the sound through here that it changes it. But I think I want to do like a get all these songs together, or maybe just have like a singing into the can compilation. You know,
That's cool.
Zoom. That's all we got. You know, what are we gonna do? You know, and we'll give you the gauge, of course. You know, with your sound before you go. But it's hit or miss. You know, with
That's a cool idea. Neil Young had just released an EP from the, he was doing those barnyard sessions during the pandemic, where he was just out at a cabin somewhere, and he just released an EP of tunes from those sessions that are just crudely recorded, but the spirit is there.
And you might sit in a studio for 3 days trying to get that sound.
Right.
You're really gonna do a thing through a phone, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
This is our good friend Scott Tipping, you guys. I'm gonna mute you down, Phil, and we'll be back in just a minute with the rest of the.
I'm to go now. I don't understand. Okay. This is a tune that we do with Sunbeard that's on the last Sunbeard record. And I feel like I'm running through space and time, and I seem to be stumbling. I'm stumbling while riding high, and I fall for nothing. There's nothing like a fall from flying, and I see you stumbling. I'm struggling with you in mind, and all the years disappear. My ways to life in the field disappears. My ways to life. It's a young guns game that I'm running. I'm playing with grit and fire, and the lines keep on coming, defining my age and kind. It's deathbed toll starts summoning. It's something some friends of mine. And the sea starts rumbling. It's rumbling with you in mind. And all the years disappear. My ways of life in the field so clear. My ways of life. And I feel like I'm running through space and time, but I seem to be stumbling. I'm stumbling while riding high, and I fall for nothing. There's nothing like a fall from flying, and I see you struggling. I'm struggling with you in mind, and all the years disappear. My ways of life in the field so clear. My ways of life, all the years so clear. My ways of life in the field disappears. My ways of life.
Awesome. Awesome, man. Yeah, it sounds good. It's an interesting sound that we get. And then sometimes it kind of like the wind
It
blows.
sounded good. That sounded fantastic.
Awesome, man.
I was worried it was gonna freeze and you'd have like
Just one note just going forever.
a.
Yeah, that's quite amazing, Scott. Thank you.
I tell all the
Thank
people
you both.
that we were definitely
No, thank you.
Great, yeah, that's wonderful. Now, in the band Sunbeard, is it a collaborative project? Is everybody kind of writing?
Well, Matt's writing most stuff. He's open to things. So like on the last LP and EP, I had a song on each. This new thing,
Don't let Johnny write.
he's delivered the tunes for that one, but it is collaborative in the sense that Matt will bring in sketches of and ideas of things, and he wants input. So he's writing lyrics and changes and stuff, but there's things that form when the band starts rehearsing. It's very collaborative, and it's very much it's actually a really cool process because there's a lot of time given to each tune and how we develop them and what happens to them and stuff.
Yeah.
It's Matt Robinson, Jonathan Reed, Scott Tipping, and Janice Walling. Correct?
That's right.
What a lineup. Yeah, that's great.
Mhm.
It's like
It's really cool.
And we've had all on our show except for Jonathan. We got to get Jonathan on.
We haven't had John on the show yet. It'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, work on that. I'll send him a text right now.
Matt was our first guest. Matt was our very first guest.
Was he?
The first time we did it, we're like, what are we doing? We just started talking to each other, like, should we try to get something on the show? And like, I started texting Matt, like, while we're doing the show, I'm sending him Facebook messages. And he's like, well, sure. And he just came on, and we just shot the shit for half an hour, you know?
That's
Hey,
great.
Scott, you know what? Another good place is in Batavia, River's Edge, the little bar with the deck upstairs.
Yeah,
That's a nice little place. That should be happening soon.
they are happening. They had just reached out about maybe my trio playing a date there.
I'll see you
And I
there.
look forward- Yeah,
I'll see
I
you
look
there.
forward to it. You
I'll
know
see
what?
you.
I want to backtrack to Matt Robinson 1 minute and just tell you the first time that I ever really worked with Matt, something happened where Paul had a complication with something. I've subbed for Shu a handful of times, and Matt Robinson reached out to me on a Tuesday night and said, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing on Thursday?" And I said, "Oh, I got nothing going on Thursday. Why?" And he goes, "Okay, buddy, I got this Chicago Shu gig." And I'm like, "Well, that's a lot of, I mean, that's in 2 days, man." And so he gives me this material and I'm like, "Cool, and I'll do it." And then he goes, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing on Friday?" And I'm like, "I don't know why." And he goes, "Would you like to be in Nebraska?" You know, and I was like, "What?"
You sound like Matt when you say that, too. He's always Jake. He's such a wonderful, wonderful soul. Oh, my goodness.
He's such a kind heart, you know. I love working with all people Sunbeard, but Matt's a really kind soul.
Matt's a great soul. Matt's
Yeah.
a great soul. He's probably in Indiana watching his Illini play basketball, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I know nothing about basketball, so I'm glad
That's
that's
fine,
one
that's fine.
conversation we've never had.
okay. Yeah, I got a story about Matt when I first met him, but we'll leave it for another show. But I have good stories about Matt. Nothing. Matt Robinson, great guy. And I miss
Agreed.
Sunbeard. I can't wait to see them live.
I'm really excited about the new music. You know, we recorded during the pandemic and it was a crazy time, and going back and hearing the mixes now and just remembering the mindset and everything. It's beautiful. I think you'll all enjoy it.
Those other two albums that came out just before, was that just before the pandemic?
Yeah, it came out in the summer. I mean, that's been the weird thing is it's like, you know, the Tire Fire, "Hey, we're back." And then the pandemic's like, "No, you're not." And Sunbeard's like, "Hey, we got 2 new records. We're going out on tour." "No, you're not." You know?
Cody says,
But you know, the beautiful thing to me, and it extends to what you guys are doing here, is the fact that artists are finding ways to move forward. Artists are finding ways to continue. The music scene will come back again. Knock on wood or whatever you got. Yeah. You know, and I feel very lucky that I'm around a bunch of very uplifting people who continue to cherish the arts and nurture it and realize like we're all not going away, you know.
We've got an amazing family of friends that are playing this music, and we're all working together between the fans and the musicians. We've all tried to stay in contact as best we can because we all know that's what we want to get back to so badly, you know. There's so many people I want to hug, I can't even list them. Shit, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
we're all gonna have lineups for hugs when it's possible, you know.
A big thing next year or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine who's incredibly sarcastic, and we were talking via phone, and he said something. He's like, "I missed the hugs," and I thought he was joking, and I
That
just
was
said, "Hey,
me.
man." I said, "Hey, man, don't joke about that because I really do miss the hugs." And he got very teary on the phone, and he goes, "I'm not joking about this. I miss it. You know, we all do, and hopefully we're gonna get there. You know."
We go like this. Hello.
Being a kid and going to all those bars, venues, small clubs and stuff, and then I went to
Yeah.
one of the first little blues. It was in Chicago in '91. It was Jane's Addiction, the Butthole Surfers, and all
Yeah.
these bands. But it was the first time I was in like thousands of people who were all there for the same reason. And it's a reminder because we're in thousands of people all the time. We go to Walmarts, we go out to town, we do all the things we do, but everybody's there for different reasons. If you go see somebody like the Grateful Dead or Fish or the Jane's Addiction or whatever you're going to go see, and everybody's there for that reason, all these like-minded people thinking the same thing, there's something to be said about our oneness as the people, you know. And we get together in a concentrated idea like that. It's powerful shit, man. I can probably talk
You
about
That's a really beautiful way to look at it, and you're very correct. And I miss, again, like from a stage perspective, I miss that energy. I miss like looking out and seeing my girlfriend or my daughter there and realizing like, oh my God, you know, don't play bad. And then I also dig being in the audience too, and just being around these people who have all decided like on this day, I'm shutting off what I do because I want to see this performance, you know?
We are in a cult, a cool cult, if you want to be in this cult, but you're in the Phil and John zone, so you can't get out, but you're in that cool cult of, it's not a cult, but you're in that,
it. No, it's not a cult, but
I don't want to use the word cult, but we're in that thing. I know what you're saying, Scott. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, and that hey, to me it means everything. You know, it's like um to know people who you know, I don't think some people understand who aren't into stuff like we are, that like people's hearts are hurting that can't go see live music. Like, it's, yes, all the
Big
performers
time.
that are out of work and production and all those people for
Mhm.
sure. But there, you know, you talked earlier about it being like a form of therapy. It is. This is like a healing process for people, and or a celebration or whatever you want to say, and meeting with your people and being in this oneness or whatever. It's
It's
magic, and it can
it's
only be itself.
Yep, exactly. The experience, the happening, so to speak. You know, basically,
it's a therapy
Yeah.
beyond therapy. It's
yeah.
beyond that.
Embarrassed.
It's that thing to look forward to for the summer. It's like going to Disney World. It's something for the kids to look forward to. It's for the parents to look forward to. It's something festival wise or music wise, just those weekends away or that Friday night with mom and dad or whatever, to do that, to see music. It's that thing, and it's the right music to see or whatever. There's no.
And
It's
there
just a
again,
thing.
we're lucky on top of that. We got such amazing music around us in all directions. It feels like, you know. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
from
I
the
mean, yeah, you know, and I think about a lot, and I'm not going to name drop him, but he's a famous guitar player of a band that Tire Fire was on the road doing
Okay,
support
I'm gonna
for.
figure it out.
No, you're not. But one of the most magical
Robin
things
Zander.
I've no, one of the most magical things I've ever seen.
Billy Corgan.
Hang on, man. Was a guy I know, or this guy that we were supporting, who was in a big band. Right before he hit show, like an hour or two, one of his best friends had passed away. And like, I watched this person look like they just got hit with a baseball bat, like just decimated. And just, I remember thinking like, this guy can't perform. He's not going to be able to carry through this. And he got on the stage and he started to play, and the crowd was there. And midway through, you watched this person smile, this deep smile from his soul, where you realized like his band, these songs, his guitar, the people in the audience, they carried him through that moment. You know, that to me is what music's really all about, you know?
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. How amazing and lucky. anybody who doesn't really get music or understand, I don't feel sorry for them, but I'm sad for them in a way that that they need. Or and oddly enough, in our society, there's a lot of music that really doesn't have a whole lot of weight to it.
Yeah.
What they give us, what they feed us through the screen most of the time. Besides Althea Grace, we love you, Althea. Besides, there's good stuff too, but a lot of the stuff they put out there and then they produce and they release and they put all this money and effort and marketing into, it just doesn't stand up for very long, or it's just catchy, or it doesn't have a story, or either.
I learned as an old fart there is no right and wrong in music, so there's nothing bad. Because someone's listening to it.
I would never.
Someone's listening to it. Doesn't mean you like it, but I don't think there's a right and wrong.
It's time for horse fights.
Yeah, I'm gonna witness a zone fight here.
He's quit before in the show. I have
Really?
Oh yeah.
We all quit one night. Yeah. Yes, we left him in there to do the show.
Maybe that's what you need to make the compilation of. You could do the positive music thing, or you could show the moments that you've all quit.
Banter in the middle of all that, because there's been a lot of fun recorded stuff. I don't think anybody's wrong for the music they produce or how they produce it. I just think that some of it doesn't have the same weight. Okay.
Come on, jackass, let's go.
But anybody who writes a damn song and performs it and gets it, and especially people that get in front of thousands and thousands of people, and they get put in these situations where you didn't know them last year, and now they're like on the Super Bowl halftime show or something. All props to them. That's incredible. That's incredible. It may not touch me personally.
Yeah.
But it touches a lot of society in a bigger chunk, these big chunks of society that kind of follow into those patterns.
Right.
Hey Scott, where can we see you playing next in the area where I'm at, or wherever you're playing? You got anything coming up?
Nothing in the immediate with an audience. The next gig I have is a live stream. Well, there's 2 live streams coming up. Next Tuesday with ASP streaming, 40,000 Headmen will be playing.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That's something I didn't mention.
I saw you guys at the venue. That was awesome.
That was a good night.
Awesome.
No, that was a great night. I got to give a shout out to Jason Coyne wants to say hello.
Yeah, say it again when that is that show.
That would be Tuesday through ASP streaming, 40,000 Headmen. We're celebrating our 5th anniversary in quarantine.
50 year feels like.
Yeah.
What's Packy Lundham's gig? He's pretty. He's right on the button on Steve Winwood.
Can I tell you a funny story about that?
Sure.
So Wavy Dave, who you just had on last week, when I was in Cornmeal, Wavy had this idea. He's like, I want to have a traffic band. And I was like, that sounds amazing. He's like, yeah, come play guitar in my traffic band. And then we'd stay up late at night drinking beers after gigs and talk about the songs that we both wanted to sing. And he would, I'm going to sing this. And I'd say, cool, I'm going to sing this. And then we were off tour for a while, and we did a Terrapin Flyer show, or he did a Terrapin Flyer show where he met Packy Lundholm. And when Cornmeal went back on the road, he said to me, he's like, hey man, I met this guy, Packy Lundholm, and he's really good. And I think he should sing the majority of the 40,000 Headmen stuff. And honest to God, I go, well, what are you talking about, man? You said you're going to sing these songs. I'm going to sing these songs. Who is this guy who's now all of a sudden going to sing these tunes? And he goes, no, I think you'll like them. I'm like, I'm sure I'll like them, but man, I want to sing and all this shit. And then we did our first rehearsal, which was the day of our first gig. And as soon as Packy started singing, I thought, I never want to sing another note again in my life. I can't believe the one time that I actually pulled out my card and said, I'm going to sing these songs. This guy? No, I'm never singing again.
No, you did, but yeah, check out 40,000 Headmen streaming, definitely live. What a lineup. Wavy Dave's in it, Marty's in it, and I mean, just.
Is that another John Reed project?
What?
John Reed, yeah.
Actually, I have. I did some artwork for 40,000 Headmen. Wavy Dave's got one, and I have an extra one around here. I forgot. Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, right on, man. I'd love to see it. Well, we also have Ray Quinn in that band, owner of Martyrs, and he's kind of our secret weapon because he plays flute, guitar, and sings. Yeah.
The guy in the far right.
Yeah, and we have Jordan Camps these days playing percussion with us.
that's awesome. I'd like
Johnny Reed on drums.
Traffic is a great band. It's kind of underappreciated, I think, and there's a lot of material. It's got to be fun to play. Yeah.
But
It's a ball.
but to see them play, to see it,
You like a Rose Park too?
Yeah.
You got some fun music.
Yeah. Last year, the show that Phil's talking about, you know, I have this series at the venue called Album Covers, where every month we do a different album cover. And I brought 40,000 Headmen out, and we did 2 sets. We did the first set was the first Blind Faith record, and the second set was John Barleycorn Must Die.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes, it's a good
and
time.
it was drizzling, and you didn't want to move. You couldn't go anywhere. It was happening. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, it felt good. It was like 45 degrees out.
you know, no, you didn't feel it. There was no temperature. It was equal.
Well,
It
my
was equal.
fingers felt otherwise.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's important. Thank you for that. I do need to cut you off in the middle of what you were saying. That was your first stream that you're doing. There was 2 of them. We'll look forward to that.
Yeah, the other one is at the venue April 11th. We're doing an album cover show, but we're stripped down. So it's me, Leslie Buchelman, and Ellie Kahn. We're doing the first Crosby, Stills, Nash record as just a trio, where we're really just going to feature the vocals and stuff. And the work for that has been really fun, and it's sounding really good. They're incredible singers.
Yeah, that's taking a lot. Crosby, Stills, Nash.
I want to ask, did you see Bonnie Kokel up there? Yeah,
I didn't get to go to that show.
I didn't. I wanted to, but I was just asking. Yeah.
I heard great things about it, but I was
Yeah,
not
I mean,
there.
I've never, but her historical value and just her positive. Yeah. So
She's amazing. Yeah.
yeah, you're right in there. Like I said, I'm 5 minutes from the venue, so anything I can do up there, I'm gonna go.
Cool.
All right. We'll be at Kiss the Sky tomorrow, picking up some albums, though.
I'll be there soon enough.
I'm
I
gonna
was
go,
just there a
Steve.
few
Finish
days.
the stage, man. Get the boxes out of there. Let's go. Let's get some bands. I like Hassel and Steve. Steve's a great guy.
He is.
One question I ask everybody else, it's kind of an odd question, Scott, is when you were little and you first remember music, what song was it, you think? First song you remember.
The first song I remember, well, I could give you just
That
a.
you dug, that you thought was cool, you know, even when you were a little kid, you know.
There's a couple. One of the first songs that I ever really connected with is so my dad and 2 uncles gave me a ton of records when I was a kid, and they're still like some of my favorite records. And so I would pick one from probably each of them. My dad gave me my first copy of Zeppelin 2, so Whole Lot of Love. I remember dropping the needle on that thing and hearing that guitar riff just exploding the speakers and just being like, what is going on? The other, which I still have, one of my uncles gave me an original track records pressing of Quadrophenia and The Who, The Real Me. When that guitar slashed in there, it was just unbelievable. And I guess the other one that I would give is the last uncle had loaned me Wish You Were Here. And the first moments, boom, 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 as a little child, just being like, what is this? I need more of this and all of this, you know?
Outer space score music sometimes.
Yeah. What is that? I mean, I still listen to that album and I'm still baffled at how beautiful it is and how outer worldly.
You know how many knobs they had to make that sound too? The knobs and the sliders and the buttons and stuff they were pushing to make those sounds. The original, the original electronic music in a sense.
Yeah.
It was stuff that was sped up and 2 notes and sped up. You get these weird sounds. Those are great albums. That's a great upbringing in music, man.
I was very fortunate with the music that I was surrounded by, and I've been very fortunate that when I was getting my own tastes in music, everybody nurtured them. I never had anyone, I was just telling somebody the other day, my daughter listens to all kinds of different things, and once, I don't remember what she was into. It was some pop thing. And a friend of mine really tersely said like, oh, well, you told her that was crap, right? And I was like, no, I would never tell her that it's crap. This is what speaks to her. It might not speak to me, but it's there,
I told my daughter that I'll listen. Let me listen to it, and in about a year, I'll tell you if I like it or not. If it's here or
I
not,
like that.
you know, whatever you like is great. But if it's around in a year, then I'll get more kudos. You know.
That's a good way to look at it, because there's certainly stuff with the record collection here. Every once in a while, I'll find something out when I'm in public that was something when I was a kid, and I'll go, oh, this is $2. I'll buy it and try to remember what it was
Right.
like when I was 9. And every once in a while, something hits where I go, wow, that's gorgeous. And every once in a while, it's like, no, I never want to hear this album again.
When my dad had a record collection, he played a lot of orchestra and symphony music, Mozart, and he played a Russian marching music and German marching music and crazy goofy stuff, and Neil Diamond after that. And I hated it. But if you really think about it, and then jazz music, and I kind of listened to some of the orchestra stuff, and it's quite amazing how more technical they are, and so
We gain appreciation too as we get older. We gain appreciation for those kind of things. That's kind of what I was saying about the country album earlier when I said that music that we were given when we were kids, we kind of pushed away, but then later in life, we actually listened to it.
right.
Very
What
true.
you guys both just said. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, Phil. You're doing great.
I interrupted anyway. I'm just
I got your
babbling.
checks
Just
right.
thinking about what I didn't like, what
My
I didn't like when I was young, and then you'll maybe. Did I
Yeah.
say anything right? No.
I don't know.
Scott, you're up. I'm just babbling.
I interrupt people way too much. It's okay. That's the show, as I always tell people when they come on the show and they ask, "What's your format? What's your interview format?" And I'm like, strictly unprofessional.
I'm gonna pay $2. There is no fucking format.
Okay, $2 for the jar, but
$2.
we're making more money off each other than we are off the show.
I mean, I think that's the magic of music, though, is some things stay with you, some things don't. Some things are a moment in time. Some things make you laugh, some things make you cry. I mean, the gamut of emotions are with you with it at all times. And even the stuff that I go back to that I don't like anymore, I can still have a respect for it, because I remember in 3rd grade, man, this was rocking. You know, this was something that fed me. So I still respect it, you know. But it is amazing to me how, like, as far as my dad and my uncles are concerned, there were these certain piles of albums that are still like some of my favorite albums of all time. Like, they just permeated my soul permanently, which I'm grateful for.
As I get older, I look through my album collection, which is quite extensive of just everything, and stuff I didn't like when I was younger, and that I like now. There's nothing I don't like or dislike, because I like it all. Because there's nothing that's wrong with. Man, I hated that music, but no, I don't anymore. So I like it all. There's nothing I don't like. Can you say you dislike that music? No, I can't
When
anymore.
I was younger, I tried to pick like a genre of music I was going to be.
I'm at that point where I don't dislike it is what it is, but I really like music.
I was like into heavy metal, and for a while I was gonna be a punk rocker. And punk rock told us you shouldn't like all this other stuff. You know, don't like the '70s music, don't like that. If you're, just listen to punk rock, just listen to us. That's what they kind of.
Well, my two favorite, I like the Zeppelin, the Clash, and Scott Tipping. They're my 3 favorite bands right now, but it could change tomorrow. But
But just the idea that the stuff that you think you like, you like it when you go for it. Blah 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 blah. Phil, we got a joke. Phil,
what?
you got a joke to tell today?
Every week you say that, and I don't have one, so it's Scott's turn. Scott, give us a joke.
I don't think I have one off the top of my head. I apologize, fellas.
That was funny, Scott. Good one. That's my joke too. I'm into Phil zone.
What do you feel? This is a little bit late. What do you call an Irish spider?
Green.
Patty Longlegs.
Oh, come on. We got to get some better jokesters.
Bad jokes in the game, my thing.
Yeah, I can't help in the joke department. I never remember jokes. I always think, oh, that's one I'm going to remember, and they're gone.
A lot of the ones I remember I can't tell anymore. Anyway, that's the way the world works. It changes along the lines, you know.
Truth.
Yeah.
What do you think?
All right, fellas.
Yeah. So Scott, thank you for being on the show. Big deal. Big ups for what you got. Unless you want to sing another song, we'll let you go anytime you need to go. You got to go eat, and
No, I think you don't want to hear me for 2 tunes. I got through one. You know, I haven't been playing as much, so I don't know if I even have the stamina for 2 songs anymore.
Big important night for us to have you
I,
on.
would, I bet you would do a great Robin Trower Bridge of Sighs.
I've never done that before, so I cannot try that right now.
It's like 26 minutes long. Come on, Scott.
Yeah, what else?
I want to. I
I'm
want to
just
say
teasing
though,
you.
I so appreciate that you guys are doing this, and 45 weeks in, you're still doing it, and you've only quit on each other a handful of times. That's
No.
pretty amazing. But but I'm being sincere. You know, I'm grateful that I get to work and coincide with artists, and I miss getting to go to a booth and seeing both of your works as I'm about to go play or see a set and stuff. And so please know that, you know, you guys have spent a lot of time talking about missing live music. I miss both of you. I miss what you do, and I'm grateful for this show and the fact that you're bringing on other musicians and artists to talk. I mean, it means a lot, sincerely, and I'm sorry it took me so long to get here.
Nope. We're glad you could be here, and we appreciate that very much. So
I hope John paid you in advance to come on our show.
Very
And,
lucky.
thanks, Scott, for coming on. You rip it.
Thank you, bud. Yeah, thank you, man.
And I can't wait to see Sunbeard, and can't wait to. Cheers.
Yep. I'll look forward to
Yeah,
it. Can't wait, bud. Yep.
yeah. Cheers, and let me know about the 5 albums thing. I'd love to do that sometime.
All right,
You can do it every week if you want.
We know that every week. You're on the list for sure. All right, Scott, we'll get back to you.
All right, great.
You know how to turn the Zoom on, so. All
I figured it out.
right, brother. Cheers, man.
Take care.
Take care, John. All right. Scott.
I can beat Scott.
I'm quitting now. Fuck this. Scott Tipping, folks. Scott Tipping from Backyard Tire Fire, Sunbeard, and so much more. 40,000 Headmen. And man, he listed off more than I'd ever heard of. And yeah, 40,000 Headmen this Tuesday, ASP streaming. You probably just Google that and find it. That's going to be a cool show.
Yeah.
Traffic at all or anything that.
A friend, Dancing Rob, told me about this band about a year and a half. I told you about, and it was back. I thought it was going to be good going in. It blew my mind when I saw it live, and I just, yeah.
Phil and I don't get to go see every set at the festivals. We don't get to go to see every band. We're working in our booth. We're painting. We're doing what we're doing. But we went to Pappy London and we didn't miss a minute of his set. So good.
Yeah. It just, they're,
I feel like that was
I'm going to put it this way. I'm an older fart, and I listen through the gamut of music, and I'm going to pick and choose. But man, there's some technical, great musicians there where you go, holy crap! Yeah. It's just,
I think people had fun on the show. They were sending the hearts and things up so far. So we've got a couple more little things we'll probably do before we're done. But
again, I don't see anything. I don't look at it. I just look at our screen. I don't want to get what people are writing. So if you're writing and saying hi, Phil, maybe you're not, or whatever, I don't see it. It's just me and John and our guests. So I don't like comments. And my dog, Chester Berry. Woo-hoo!
that was kind of... Anyway.
It's been 3 months without a cigarette, John.
3 months? Are you lying to me? Are you serious?
100%.
Oh my God, Phil, I'm so proud of you, man.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Thank you for doing that, buddy.
Not one puff. It's been tough. I mean, see, I got shakes now. I 100%, not one puff. I have to stop a few things. Yeah, that was one. Cigarettes, yeah. Because I stopped. All right.
I don't.
Shane, you can do it too.
Yeah, everybody who's out there trying to quit smoking, you can do it, man. It's hard.
But
how do you feel?
I want to have a cigarette.
That's what I thought you were yeah.
Son of a bitch! Why did they do
Everybody
that?
say hi.
There's something there's something about that though. At times where what really gets me is when about to go in the car and drive. I need a cigarette and a cup of coffee in the morning because I do things in the morning. Cigarette, drive.
You just got here.
But what?
My beer's being delivered. My lovely wife just got behind me, so come say hi in a second.
You're married?
So probably just hand me a beer. 24 years married. 24 years. And listen, I haven't written any songs about it, but it ain't easy. I love my wife. She's wonderful. Oh my goodness. If there's a tip jar for the Phil and John zone, we don't really have one. Sheila Jones Whitaker's asked us. I mean, I could make one real quick. What's your?
Hi, Sheila. I miss Sheila. I look at your big red glass piece that you gave me and Laura. It's in our living room. The light shines right through it. We love it. I miss you, Miss Sheila.
We don't.
I see all your dogs,
We
all your
appreciate
doggies.
if anybody asked if they want a tip. I put the little link up there. You don't have to. That's not all we need to show. I'll
Yeah,
send
we should get some tips. We need some money so we can feed our dogs
all the
and
art.
cats.
You know, I mean, you buy some art, dogs and kids.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Sheila Jones. You out there, Sheila. Good to see you out there.
Who else is on there? Is anybody else watching?
Jones, Joe Griffin, and Mark Schultz still watching. George Adams Asprey, Jason Coyne.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah,
Thank you, buddy.
Jeff Slingley's always out there. We're seeing out Jeff Slingley, Jeffrey Blackmore out in Visalia, California. Our guest Mark Hill tonight was from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Spring break. Woo-hoo.
Got a lot of time zones. Is Eason on yet?
No, Easton Bishop. Bob Hagerman checked in, man. These are the brand new good old days. Once we can start getting back together, I imagine the sit-ins and writing together is going to be fantastic. So, yeah. Debbie Wallet McKee checked in. I'm just going to say hi to everybody who came in so far. Ellie Khan, Nikki Tippin. Yeah, good crowd tonight. Good crowd on the show. We do.
Yeah, Scott.
Sheila said she misses us both, Phil, and we miss her too. We were talking about you this week, Sheila, so I hope I get to see you one of the days.
Okay, I'm not even listening to you because you're stumbling. I can't hear.
Easton Bishop heard his name. He just jumped on. He's working for the government. He's listening to what we're saying. He's monitoring our.
He works for the government.
He works for. Well, thank you. Thanks, Amy Griffin, for the beer. Everybody, cheers.
Oh, Amy Griffin. Oh.
It's Friday night, and we are doing.
Hey, Amy. Here comes the other one.
So, Phil, here's 45 weeks in the zone, Phil.
Hold on.
Inspirational that it can get. Let's do a cheers.
We got to do a 45-week celebration. Laura, you want to come in? Nancy? Yeah.
More.
Nancy's here.
No, she was just there.
Yeah, I know.
But cheers to everybody out there who's listening. Cheers to people who have been part of the show from the beginning. All the guests we've had.
Come on, you got to come in.
From Matt Robinson to Scott Tipping to Laura from Aurora.
Jeff Stingley.
Oh, Jeff Stingley. He's probably like Jeff Stingley's number one on the list. Guys, as we refer to Circus Peanuts. If you send us any money, we'll buy Jeff some Circus Peanuts and get into toothpaste.
Yeah, we need a GoFundMe page.
Cheers.
Cheers. Laura's over there.
What would we do with the money if we got money? What if people like pitching in? We got $1,000.
You know, we need money, but we don't need money.
You don't need money.
We're lucky. We're blessed. Honestly, we're blessed.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, you think about it. I mean,
and
don't start taking your clothes off, dude. That's not going to happen.
Spring break show, man. I got board shorts on.
What the? No. Well, you know.
$2.
I don't need anything. I really don't. I just want. Here, I'll put my shirt on. New Old Cabaret.
We have. If you guys have any ideas for guests, you can always put them in the thing there and show them. Tell them you want to be on our show. We're always looking for new people.
Yeah, if you got $50, I can use it. I'm going out to the bar later.
We don't want to leave anybody out because we really want to make sure that everybody gets the part of what we do here.
I don't know what we do. We got sports segment coming up.
You think you do, huh?
What do you think? You got a guest coming up?
Well, if I put you on the spot, do you want the long intro or the short intro?
Oh, it's not ready yet. No.
It's a very long intro.
I have to go that way for a second, though. What?
That's my ringtone.
No, we got to talk about a few things.
Live from the sports helicopter. Phil's road.
Go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time once again for the Minute of Sports with Phil. Phil feels very strongly about sports. We love Phil. We would never deny him a minute to do the sports.
Hello, everybody. It's Bill Murray here in the Phil Zone. You got your brackets filled out? I do. Who do you got winning? I got Illinois. If you don't, well, yeah. I have Illinois. Come on. The Ohio State cover. I'm not. Did they win? Anyway. Yeah, who you got in the brackets? I have Illinois in one bracket. I got Texas in one bracket. I got Gonzaga. I think Baylor is not going to go far, so I like Gonzaga, Texas, Iowa. I forgot. Anyway,
I don't.
Yeah, Illinois. Yeah. Um,
Easton Bishop says West Virginia to win it all.
they could. I got to go. There is no. I love the brackets and stuff, but I haven't figured it out in all these years. It's fun doing. Usually, some secretary who is blind wins it. I'm sorry for the blind people. But yeah, it's pretty much. Are you looking at reactions? Oh God, I'm never politically correct. You know that, Sean.
Joe Peel.
So who's got? Okay, another question about sports is what are the Bears doing with Andy Dalton? I know I'm from Chicago. Do we have a quarterback, Chicago Bears? No, we don't. A lot of sports fans are not there. But the brackets, I'm psyched about the bracket. And when this show ends, I'm going to eat and watch brackets. Go Illinois. What? How many? What?
Go.
Timing me?
A lot time in here.
What else we got to do for 3 hours?
We're gonna try to get out there, but I gotta get these here
Well,
first
who else?
for a little while.
Texas is a sleeper. Arkansas came back and won. They're not bad. Illinois, Big Ten, Michigan State lost in the pre-round.
Illinois versus Chicago.
What are the Bears doing with Andy Dalton? Baseball season starts soon. Are you into any other sports?
I want to go see those Cardinals play.
What sport is Cardinals, John?
It ain't hockey. It ain't football.
Do you realize St. Louis does not?
And they got fingers.
I find it not funny, but I live outside of Chicago. But if you live another hour outside of from where I'm from, in the suburbs of Chicago, everybody hates the Cubs and the White Sox.
Oh,
no
no.
one likes Chicago.
Listen, I think Cubs and Cardinals are about equal in Illinois. As you go north,
Oh, no. Most people don't like Chicago. I guess if I lived outside of Chicago, I'd probably hate Chicago too. But I grew up in Chicago, so I love Chicago.
We just growing up. We grew up going to see the winning team, man.
Hey, you can't talk in the sports segment. Hey, you want your own segment? Get your own segment. Get your own zone.
Dave Francis, Andy Dalton.
Stillshine. I miss Stillshine. God, it was rough. Touch of Gray, Mouse Place. I miss Stillshine.
Yeah, I'm glad they did it up there. Touch of Gray Cafe, one of our sponsors for the night, folks.
Jason Mouse. We have sponsors. Where's my donut? I want a donut. I'm a donut.
Go to Peoria, go to the Touch of Gray Cafe and check out his team. Man, he's got some cool artwork in there, and he's got some great food. And he just opened.
Yeah, I want a panini and a donut.
So we got
panini and a donut.
Does he have donuts? He has like a homemade kind of dinner thing that they make, don't they?
I'm a donut fanatic. With a good cup of coffee or chocolate milk and white. Anyway, big day tomorrow. It's warm tomorrow. It's gonna be beautiful tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
I gotta transplant my 2 indoor green little habitats from indoor to outdoor and wean them outside. Obviously, no vegetables, but cold weather crops. They're going. I'm psyched. Got my bags of dirt all ready. Cow manure, compost, all organic. Big gardener. Small property, big gardener.
Well, this Monday is his birthday.
I don't like Mondays.
Say how old she is. It's her birthday this Monday, so we're going to do something with her mom and dad this weekend, and hopefully get to enjoy the outdoors as much as possible. I've been really loving the warm weather, man. I tell you, it's been real nice, Phil. It's been something else, yeah. Just to be able to be outside and play, you know.
Are we done with sports so I can take my glasses off?
Hey, that was Phil's Sports Minute. Here on the Phil and John Zone, week 45. What we do after the Phil and John Sports Minute, we kind of filter out the last half hour.
I'm old. Anybody remember these things?
Is that a bladder?
Yeah, it's my bladder. It's hooked up to my... You drink out of it when you were younger, when you're older, and you just use it as a urinal.
Ball game. Hard to pee in that tiny hole. Oh,
it all
it does depend. I wore them to a game one time, so I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom. They don't work very well.
Thank you for the spotted cow. You can't get in Illinois. I don't know why, because it's not pasteurized, but it's great beer. Thank you, Lynn and Laura, for getting it for me.
We don't have any sponsorships. We don't really have sponsors, but we just talk about our friends and what they do. My Tall Tripod is the other one I always like to plug on YouTube. My Tall Tripod, or Harmon 712, or Harmon 71, Harmon 14. Shit, I can't remember. Tom Harmon on archive.org is also a great sponsor of us.
Who are you talking about?
Tom Harmon?
Yeah. You see any music this weekend?
This weekend I saw Althea Grace on American Idol, and they saved it for last. Did you watch it?
No.
You didn't watch it? I'd show it.
Yeah, I did.
I'd get pinched, I'm sure, if I show it, but it was inspirational. So this person that we were talking about, I first met her when she was 11 years old, and I got 7 YouTube videos out there. I shared them the other day of her songs that she was doing at the time, and they were good. They weren't like, the Wheels on the Bus songs. They were Voodoo Child and Purple Haze and Bad Reputation, and not only playing them, but playing the solos. And so she was on American Idol last Sunday. We've been following this whole time. She's been a guest on the show, and they saved her for last because she's got a very emotional story. But it's so inspirational to watch her sing and do her thing. And then she sang so beautifully. I mean, if you've been singing your whole life and you were playing guitar all that time too, she's got skills, folks. And if you go to American Idol and you see Althea Grace, everybody knows who she is in our circle.
Do we owe her money for coming on our show?
Yeah, maybe. Some of the upcoming guests, we might have a Grammy Award winner on our show here in a couple weeks.
I know who it's going to be. I can tell you who it is. Want to know? Here's my phone number. It's going to be, I'll give you initials.
That's some BS. Don't you give us initials.
No, I'm going to give them initials. I'm going to give you a letter in each word. There's a S in one and an S in the other one. I'm going to give you a hint every week. So there's there's not there's an I in one and there's an S in another one. I-S. First word is I and the second letter is S.
Now, when you ask a guest to come on the show and they say they're going to do it, and then the next week after they say they're going to do it, they win a Grammy, his schedule might get a little more polluted than we thought it was. So it might be a few weeks, but he's going to come on the show, folks. And
I already know that. I mean, they will eventually come on. Well,
Now, if he has I don't know if he's going to have a fee he's going to want to charge us. I hope not. Hopefully he just comes on for fun. He said he loved you, Phil. He said he remembered you like in an instant, and he loved you, and he said thank you for checking it.
I know that.
People don't forget. Phil.
I'm just kind of that guy, yeah.
When you meet Phil, it's true. And when you meet Phil at the show, hell, I've been latched onto him ever since I met him. We've been buddies for 10 or so years.
What are you drinking? Yeah, Kool-Aid. Yeah, Heineken. I'm drinking the Spotted Cows.
A can of Heineken.
Thank you, Spotted Cow.
Heineken after the show.
I'm looking forward to it's not to watching March Madness Friday nights. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Usually mellow up early. Yeah, that's just painting a lot. What are you doing, John?
Right now, I'm painting some flowers. These sunflowers are in progress. They're going to turn out like these sunflowers over here. I've got a few commissioned.
Yeah, the figure was classic. That was good. That's a good one.
Better at like a painting like this, you get for like $40. A painting like this, it runs about $75. A painting like this runs about $120. A painting like that runs about $180. This is like $120. This is $125. They're all for sale. But the idea that that's not why we're doing the show for sure. Sheila Whitaker just said hey again. Bob Hagerman says hey again. Isabel March, who's that? Houston Bishop. She was on episode. Cool, man. Cool. Episode 35 was on our show. Or no, you're talking about.
Just think about it. 35. It's 45 weeks in a row. My teacher in grade school and high school would be really happy. I've done something in a row for 45 weeks. Think about it. Have you ever? What have you done 45 weeks in a row? Well, I can name a few things, but I can't say it in public. But I mean, there's probably. I mean, seriously.
Where'd you go? Did we lose Phil for a second?
Religiously, you did something.
Yeah.
We're in a cult. I know it.
Well, I feel bad if we miss it. I don't want to miss it.
I'll be right back.
Dance break. Hey, dance break's over. You not peeing yet? Hold on a second. Normally, whenever Phil goes away, I worry about him. You know, he's not there. We're pretty close friends, and a couple times when his screen froze or he disappeared from the show, I just thought he was mad at me. But he's usually a pretty good guy. Hold on a second. Oh, I gotta get this
Hello?
one. Hello. Okay.
The number you have dialed,
Which is what just happened. Didn't it? Phil left, didn't
the
he?
new number is. Please note, the new number is.
What happens though, really, folks, is that Phil he's old man. He's got to get up and go use the restroom from time to time. On road trips, we stop every 30 miles or so he can get out and pee. He'll be back. He'll be back. Last week we all froze up, and no, that's not the one I was looking for. Here we go. Last week we all froze up, and Phil disappeared, and I got worried, and then we just ended the show, and then after I ended the show, he came back on like this, like he's doing right now.
Hey, where'd he go?
I was filling in space. I was filling the dead air with something. I told stories about why Phil has to go to the bathroom all the time.
How do you know he's going to the bathroom to do that?
Yes, you know, dance breaks. I don't know where you're headed. I'm just either what you didn't go outside and smoke a cigarette. And that's what you used to do.
Okay, I don't do that anymore.
12 weeks ago. Yeah, 12 weeks. Do you think our shows helped you to quit smoking?
No, now I want to have one.
So, well, let's not talk about it anymore. I didn't mean to bring that up at all.
I want to have a cigarette. Thanks a lot.
No, don't do it. You don't need to. If you've gone for 3
No,
months,
no.
I know you're
I
thinking.
mean, I haven't had even one drag. I'm not saying I'm not going to. I must be honest, but I haven't had one drag.
Eason did say that Grace was on the 35th show, which Eason has gone back.
35th show. That sounds so much.
We're gonna have to have her come back and sing a song for us, though. She couldn't sing that night. She didn't have her.
Who?
She wasn't singing. Althea. Grace.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hey, Easton, what's going on? Don't root for Illinois. You're gonna jinx them, like you said.
Yeah, Ohio lost. Somebody lost. He said. And we're talking.
Ohio State lost.
Buckeyes lost. Yeah.
Holy shamoly!
Yeah.
Are you serious? Woo! Bracket buster.
On the show, and then they lost. So I think it's got something to do with you guys and what happened.
Wow. That's a big buster for brackets.
Does that change your fantasy? You don't want to talk about it on my live?
No, there's too much. I enjoy talking about sports. I can have a segment of sports for like a couple hours. But yeah, that's I'd still enjoy the brackets. Yeah, I'm gonna do some wagering on DraftKings and FanDuel, betting some nickels and dimes in a minute after the show's over, whenever that's. But I wish it was nice out, and eventually we're gonna be outside in the Phil and John zone.
Maybe by next week.
It depends on the weather up here. You're 3 hours south. It's different.
I got a couch.
Or we could. Yeah. You're going to Sugar Creek?
I do catching services too. Sugar Creek's in April.
You're going?
I have to look at the dates on it. I gotta be careful. It's like right around my daughter's birthday. It's almost the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Stuff's hot and heavy. I haven't signed any contracts to go anywhere. Remember when we go to festivals and sell we do have to pay a fee to get in.
Yeah,
and rent our space. So I mean,
in one way or another, we pay for what we get. For sure.
Yeah. Browntown in Indiana, I do plan on going to. Blue Ox, I'm hoping on Mr. Bubbles. It's got to be in black and white.
What's that mean?
No, I just if you're gonna sell art, you got to. I'm not. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Fees are expensive at some of these festivals. You know that, John.
I'll show this one up. Here's the Sugar Creek poster I did for their festival coming up, and it's
that's me down there.
That's April.
I'm supposed to be there.
17th. It is us. It's us at the bottom down there. That's my booth, and there's your booth. I hear it in front of my booth. Hold on a second. Let's do it here. No. Hold on. Something's starting up. Okay. There we go. See, there's a lot of people in this image there. There's Jeff Singley right in front of my booth. Tommy Dean is over here juggling. You got Mr. Bubbles, uh, Mr. Bubbles, Omar, and Tracy Johnson in the back there. Jerry Garcia in the middle. There's my friend Daniel Comer. You've got Jesse Payne on the guitar up here. There's Frank Zappa and Kermit over here on this side. Jerry Garcia looks to be in a wheelchair, but he's the old guy in the festival. Awesome. He dances all weekend. It's so wonderful.
My friends freak out when they come over and look at your posters. Where's Jerry at? Where's he hiding? Where's he hiding? They're on the walls, John.
Down there in your booth looking at the record. So I try to include everybody in that particular.
I know. I love it. It's a beautiful thing.
There's so many posters. I didn't get to do too many this year, but I'm glad that I got to do some so far.
Hey, John, think about it. Close your eyes for a second. Year's over with. Here we are.
Everything that's already happened is gone.
We're controlled by Martians. What do you think?
All we have is now and what's to come. And we don't know what's to come is.
If you dwell the past, you're really screwed.
You do, and it's a.
I mean, you can't.
Keep going. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Your turn to play.
Let's finish what we're talking about real quick.
No, you played last week. No. We have to have the John zone where it's no Phil zone. It's the John zone. You playing a song. It's time for the exclusive John guitar. John Griffin.
She was a guitar. This guitar's name is now Althea. I named it after we watched American Idol. Because you have to name your guitars. And they should be a female, I think, if you're a male, or male if you're female. I don't know. They could be whatever you want them to be. But I've always named mine Darlene, Arlene, and now Althea. Because I was just so inspired by her singing and her story and who she is that I named the guitar Althea. But there's a song called Althea, right? That's what she's named after. I couldn't legitimately name the guitar Althea until I learned the song Althea. So I found an incredibly bastardized version of it and I learned it. But that's not what I'm going to play. Because what we were just talking about is the people looking backwards and how big of a hole you can fall in when you look back on something you either regret or don't like about your history. And so it got me thinking about this one song that I like a lot, but it's all about looking backwards, basically. So I'll see if I can play it for you, and then we'll go from there, right, Phil?
Love you, John. Hit it.
Thank you, Phil. One day, about 25 years from now, when we've all grown old from wondering how, we'll all sit down at the city dump, talk about the good old days. Will you pass the joint and I'll pass the wine? Anything good coming down the line? A lot of good things went down one time, back in the good old days. Good old days are past and gone. A lot of good people have done gone on. That's my life when I sing this song about back in the good old days. Because the good old days are now, like it was said earlier in the comments, is these are the good old days. These are the brand new good old days, which is another song I don't know yet, but sometimes you get to thinking that we're almost done and there ain't nothing left that you can figure out. Guess it must have seemed a lot more like that way back in the good old days. But when you gotta go, and there's always somebody, don't you know, just hanging around to say I told you so. Back in the good old days, but the good old days are past and gone. A lot of good people have done gone on. That's my life when I sing this song about back in the good old days. You know, we'll get back there into the good new days. The good new days are what we're getting ready to have, and the best memories are yet to be made, they say, you know, and we will all join hands and we'll gather round when this old guitar starts to make this sound. A lot of good things went downtown, back in the good old days. Squeezing in love with the people that we hadn't even met, and was out for anything that we could get. We did it then, we're gonna do it yet. These are the good old days, said these are the good old days. The good old days are past and gone. A lot of good people have done gone on. And that's my life when I sing this song about back in the good old days. Back in the good old days, says back in the good old days. Because these are the good days that we are in right now. We start looking back, and you don't always see the good in the back of the days. And it's my advice for everybody to not do that, and also to myself, because that's just what it is, you know. And a little piece of that other one. just a little piece of that other one, and we'll get back to the Phil and John alphabet zone. If you got any ideas for what we should talk about in the alphabet song, or what we should alphabetize, let us know. I told Althea I was feeling lost, lacking in some direction. Thea told me, okay, that's fine. Back might need protection. I told Althea, treachery is tearing me limb from limb. Thea told me, okay, boy, settle back, easy, Jim. So I had to learn that song because the name of the guitar Althea, you better know how to play Althea on your guitar. So that's
Thank you,
my
John.
brother, Joe Griffin Guitars. He made it for me. It's got my name on it. It says Griffin. I don't like putting the tuner over the lettering. I just don't want the lettering or anything to touch the I don't put my capo up there because I don't want to hurt that nice label you put on there for me. It's so nice. So that's from Joe Griffin. Thanks for making that guitar for me, bud.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful, John. That is beautiful. Great song.
Thanks, bud. Thank you very much, Phil. So I think what we're gonna do with our alphabet song is our alphabet game. Let's try just making sports related stuff because it could be teams, players, names, sports, the ball itself.
I know you're such a sports guy, so let's go for it. Go for it. You start with A. Just go for it.
A. Athlete.
Okay.
B is not a hard one in sports.
We'll go with ball. Real quick.
You might go
I'm trying to be different, but we have to go through this and no. Okay, go ahead.
So for C, I'm going to say the Cardinals. Cardinal. The Redbirds. Fredbird the Redbird. 11 run rings. More rings than you got fingers. Okay.
Okay, D, we'll go for Dodgers.
All right. E. Extra innings.
Okay, that's
we can't use for X now, so we can't use extra.
You can use a team name, anything with sports related. Okay. F is a fly out.
Nice. I was gonna say field goal. I like that fly ball field goal. How about G for grounder? I'm sticking with baseball. That's what I know best. Grounder. What's a grounder? You ever get thrown grounders when you were a kid?
Okay, that's fine. There's no right. Well, there is right and wrong. There is a judge in the other room
grounders
critiquing us. I guarantee you that. H. A hit. Everybody do a hit if you want to.
I. In their inning.
Very good. You're looking at the screen. He's told you.
Innings are in sports, right?
Jaguars.
K.
You got a Q.
There's a certain letter that if you start or you go second, then there's a lot of letters you end up with. The K is for I'm waiting for them to start commenting.
We're only talking about America. If you say kangaroo, there's I guarantee in other countries there's
kangaroos.
Sports teams named kangaroos.
Kickoff. That's a big K word for sports.
What's after K? L. Liverpool.
Or K for strikeout. That's a good one, East Mission. Yeah, K for strikeout. For strike.
You can't look at the screen. I have no screen. You know cheating.
No,
I see your eyes moving over there. You can't go that way.
Did you say Liverpool?
Yeah, soccer team from England.
All right. I would have said long ball or
Short ball, long ball. You have no clue.
It'll be a long pass.
Long ball, short ball, middle ball.
All right, M. Mariners or the Mets. I would say the Mets over the Mariners probably, or the Miami Dolphins or the Michigan Wolverines or something like that. Or
And Nova Scotia Wildcats.
Nova Scotia. That's where Oak Island is.
It's a Canadian hockey team.
I know where Nova Scotia is, man. Oak Island, brother. Nova Scotia highlights, huh?
That's for
I was gonna say
Mr. Bathtub. He's taking a hiatus.
I was gonna say
And
nothing but and the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. Oh wait, no, it's not a band. Damn it. An out. An out.
Okay.
You're out, buddy.
Okay. P. Patrick Foley, best hockey announcer in sports.
There you
Patrick
go.
Foley.
You can make up whatever you want to make up, Phil.
It ain't no. If you're from Chicago Blackhawks, Wavy Dave or Joe Peel or anybody watching it, Pat Foley, greatest announcer. Shoots, he scores!
So who started the alphabet? Did I start it? Who said it? Who's the A thing? Who said A? Because now I'm stuck on Q again.
Well, sports related, anything.
Hold on,
Maine.
there's a lot of Q's. Hold on. Like a quick pass. Hey, this is quality stuff. Anybody saying that there's only 7 people watching, those other people left, they're lost on this because quick pass is a new thing that's going to be happening. And
Yeah, that's a quick pass. Yeah.
basketball.
Well, look at you, you're getting all these answers.
I'm not getting it. It says Queens Park.
What the hell are you looking at?
I'm
Not
making
the
up
bullshit.
what I see.
Well, technology, and I'm looking at you. I'm not looking at anything else.
Can you tell when I look over and I'm reading this?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. You think I'm stupid?
No.
Cheater.
Oh, we got 8 people watching now. Sweet.
Okay, what am I?
You're Phil, and I'm John.
No, I'm not.
I said quick pass. You're R.
Cute. Trying to come up with something cute, but it ain't gonna work. So just might as well go with. I was trying to do that. Oh,
Rally Cat.
no, we gotta do it quick. What are you trying to say? Patty's Days is gone.
You never turn your hat inside out?
No, I'm not in rally cap. No rally cap. No, I wear my hat directly. R. We'll just go with the Chicago Rush. Rush. It's not a band. It's a great band, but it's a Chicago arena football team. Hi, Chester Berry. I know I'm ignoring you.
That's made up.
What? No.
S. The Steelers. For Chad Ing.
Oh, that's right. He's different. Oh, they signed. Hey, Chad, if you're watching, the receiver Juju signed for lesser to come back with the Steelers. I'm big into sports. Yeah, Juju Schuster signed for less to come back with the same team. So I don't know what's going. I know it's Ben. RST. We'll go for.
Hey, Phil, it'd be kind of fun to do an all sports show, and I just be the guy who doesn't know anything about sports, but is on the show for some reason, and all the sports guys just make fun of me the whole time. That's kind of my life, actually. Never mind. That's my whole life. Never mind.
I'm old. When you get older like me, you'll know everything. I didn't know certain things. I didn't know about certain things. You'll learn about sports. By the time you're like 60 like I am, you'll know everything. So you just laugh. So I'm sorry. I know you're young. You're like 15 years younger than I am. Or 20.
No, like 5 or 6. Maybe. I don't know. You want to tell people online how old you are? No, you don't do that. They can check your page for that. I'm not 45 anymore. I can tell you that much. Okay, so what letter are you on? Do you remember? Folks, if you're just tuning in, we're in the alphabet somewhere, lost.
Okay, what letter is it? S-T? T. We'll go with, no, I already said that, didn't I? It's your turn.
No, T. Well, I would say Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
What do you say for T?
We'll go with
Let's stay on T for a second. And how many T's can we come up with? We did that last week. We stuck on one letter for a second, and so T. I said Tennessee Titans. They scored
Toledo Rockets.
a touchdown. Terry Pendleton, Cardinal from back in the days. All right, U.
Uniform.
Uniform. All right. Various uniform at Chicago Farmer in the field notes. Uniform. UV. Violent Femmes, man.
No, we're talking about sports. You said sports. Music.
Very, very quick pass.
That is so dorkish. Very quick. And it worked. It's a definitely very.
Well, how about very
I'm
long
gonna write
pass?
that for a note.
Very
What's
long pass.
very quick pass? That should be the name of a band. Very quick pass. Okay,
I'll take a very quick pass on that joke right there.
very quick.
I wonder what time I didn't ask him what time that stream was before that. I'm gonna look that up.
It's like saying, "What sport do you play?" I played with the round ball.
I play with that pointy ball.
I miss
very good hockey shot. Very good pass. Viking.
You know, it's the funniest thing because of the time change. I'm in the basement here in my in the zone, but I have two windows over there, and I can see lights coming through them, and I don't like seeing lights when I'm doing artwork or seeing that. And now the show's, you know, the light's still on, and it's weird to see the sun. I miss the sun.
Yeah.
Can you do art in the sun?
Today's
Like down your wherever you.
Tomorrow's the first day of spring. I got sunshine. I got both windows open tonight. Tomorrow's the first day of spring. Spring's when we all bounce back like daisies.
It's like time. It's like your name. It could be John, but I don't think your name is John. It could be like Fernando. I don't know. But I still like you. You know.
You only use an alias for this.
I bet your name is Jimi Hendrix because you kind of look like him. We'll see.
No, it's Elvis. Oh, my squirrel's named Elvis from the Squirrel Zone. He's not. I didn't put the Squirrel Zone together tonight, but next week we might be back in the Squirrel Zone again. Next week, hopefully, we'll be outside. Let's try to make a plan. When are we gonna? Like, what's coming up pretty soon? Is me and you need to get together and do a show at one of our houses together and see each other and hang out all night and have a few beers and laugh and.
Well, next.
But we
I'm going to do a show out in the backyard. I mean, it's nice in the backyard.
We also have to be careful because if the Grammy winner comes on, we got to make sure I have the whole setup so it looks professional at the same time. But I don't remember if we had guests when we did the show at your house.
Hey, John.
What?
I'm not careful of nothing. When you're at, what do you got to worry about? What?
No. So we asked people to do a theme song for us, and we got a theme song. Maybe somebody besides me should make a T-shirt for us, or a bumper sticker. And if somebody can come up with an idea for a T-shirt or bumper sticker that I didn't do, that's not because I don't want any more of my shit. I don't want to wear any more of my shit for right now. We'll have a contest, and the prize is a double-sized bag of circus peanuts.
What the hell are you coming up with?
Wrestle. Yes.
I'm not. I'm changing my name.
All right.
It's just a
W. You're on W. This is Philly.
W. White Sox.
Okay.
They could win the World Series. The White Sox. They could win the World Series. I'm a Cub fan, but the White Sox are going to be really good this year. They got Tony La Russa. The guy's like 92 years old. He got 2 DUIs. Unbelievable. He loves the Martini. You know what? I can go for a Manhattan or a martini after this because you drink a beer. I mean, I can go for a good cocktail. But the White Sox, Chicago White Sox are going to be good this year. They should win. They got a lot of talent. They got some flamethrowers in the bullpen. God, Giolito, and then the dude who took the year off last year because of COVID. I don't know what the hell.
I started this with athletes. So what I just realized is if you start this game with athlete, you're the first player to start it, you get the letters I, Q, V, X, and Z if you start this game. So I'm at X. And I said I couldn't use something for X, extra innings. Um, but maybe extra stocks. Extra does not really start with X though, but the X-rays. There's got to be a band called the
Extra innings.
Extra innings is good. But did you hear what I said though? Since I got A, I ended up with I, Q, V, X, and Z in this game. And that's not easy to come up with anything that comes
That's what, hey John. That's why it's not the John and Phil zone. That's why it's the Phil and John zone.
That's why I should be waiting for a check from you.
Oh shit! I blew it.
I have a check from Todd Snyder.
What?
Since we're doing the show, we should say I have a check from Todd Snyder on my desk because he's had an album coming out April 15th, folks. It's called The First Agnostic Church of Hope and Wonder. I'm going to promote it for Todd because he deserves a little promotion.
You know what? I think I do believe he is an alien or Sasquatch.
I believe that.
I believe it too.
Our weirdos are kind of on that.
His church on Sunday is just like a fake hologram.
Do you watch any of his shows?
Oh yeah, I do.
Really good. They're really good.
You sent them to me.
I put them on our page and make sure they get on connected to our thing, but they have been really good. And he's funny because he's kind of a shy person. He doesn't really want to come on the show because he doesn't like.
I like, I mean.
But talking to his manager.
Are we live, right?
We're live. We can talk about. It's okay. We can talk about.
Well, I know. Well, after I start drinking on the show, I don't. Then I start talking. Yeah, I like. Yeah, open. Like the opinions.
I'm glad that you've been checking out his shows because they have been really good. And he does a show every Sunday morning at 11 Central and from Nashville. And he actually said last week that he almost likes it as much as he likes playing live. He's probably not quite there, but he's kind of a shy person. When he gets on stage, he gets kind of. I've seen him get kind of shut in on the stage because people are hollering or they're not listening.
Did he sign that check in person?
No.
Are you sure that's?
No. There's no way, dude. It's somebody. It comes from his company, dude. It's not him, dude. I've never met Todd Snyder. You want to get into it right now? You want to talk about how long it's been I've been working with Todd Snyder? I can show you 150 things that I've done for Todd. But no, I never worked for Todd Snyder. I did work for Todd Snyder. Hold on, now you're messing me up, making me embarrass myself. On this, you made me put my foot in my mouth, Phil. But I'm gonna do a shameless plug because it's so cool that his album's coming out. And
we should have Still Shine on. We should have David Fry and the boys come on. We should have Wes Duffy and Wes Duffy and the Wes Duffy trio. We could have Still Shine on the show. Because I got a Still Shine album right there. I got a lot of artwork everywhere. Good Morning Bedlam. I got Widespread Panic over there. I have a Grateful Dead over there. Yeah, I have tons of artwork. I'm terrible at promoting my stuff, but I got a lot of artwork. I can't wait for a festival to everybody show my artwork. You're all gonna freak out. I got a set of 30 Grateful Dead albums. There's one, Nothing Left to Do But Smile, Smile.
There's the album cover that I just worked on.
Where's the church at?
That is the church, the big purple building. It's where he plays music from every night. It's in this little tent.
Where is it at?
It's in Nashville, Tennessee, actually.
Let's go.
We should. Yeah, it's not really open to the public, but we should go down there and visit him and meet.
We'll call Tom Harmon. He'll drive us there.
Maybe we should do some sort of like a quest to meet Todd.
Well, you're supposed to buy a train, and we're gonna go.
Yeah, get that album, folks. It's gonna be really good. He wrote a song.
Yeah, I agree. I'm being a smart butt.
And he's a good dude, and he's been supporting me for years. He's definitely, his management and me have worked together for a long time. Sheila Whitaker, she just said, "Wow, 4 years ago today, I posted a pics of bubble wrap party bonfire at my house in memories. That was fun." We love Sheila.
I was there, Sheila. I still have the bubble wrap tie in our garage.
If Sheila's watching, I'll show this to Sheila. This is when we met Sheila.
Yeah.
Making these fish, she still makes them. And we still have this. It hangs in my studio, Sheila, right over where I paint almost all the time. I love it.
I like that.
As Phil would say, it's a beautiful thing. He wrote that. That's his joke. It's got a little dust on it because it's been hanging there for probably. We figured out that was like 2010 or 2011, maybe 2009 even when we all met at the Cody show at the art. It was an art gallery we met at.
Hey, Miss Sheila, how many dogs you got in the house now? Probably quite a few.
She have dogs?
Well, I saw a bunch of puppy pictures recently, Miss Sheila.
Yeah.
Man.
That too. I can't talk about it. They're very cute. They're very, very cute. Yeah.
What?
I don't know anything. I don't know nothing.
What's your?
Long story I'll tell you after the show, Phil. I can't talk about it online.
Wow.
Dirty for our show. They won't let us, the FCC will come down on us hard. Oh, I said that out loud, didn't I? That might be the dirtiest thing I ever said on the show. The FCC will come down on us hard. Ward, you were a little hard on the Beaver last night. X. Oh, X.
That's the fun part. You should see the stuff that happens before the show or after the show. Yeah.
Okay, back to the alphabet. X is a strike in bowling. X is a strike in bowling. When you bowl a strike, it's an X. Cross the box out. So you're on Y.
Yohan Cespedes.
Yohan Cespedes. Does it start with a J or a Y?
Why? Yohan Cespedes. He's an outfielder. He used to be for the Mets. The White Sox could get his son or brother. Yohan Cespedes.
Since I started?
And people are freaking out and go, what the hell are you talking about? It's his name, Yohan Cespedes. Because I have him in my fantasy baseball team last couple of years. Anyway, go ahead.
Now, the last letter of the alphabet, since I got the first letter of the alphabet, how does that work out, too? No, wait a minute. There's 26 letters in the alphabet. That's an even number. If I got the first
We screwed up. You think we're on point?
If I got the show, I will invite those guys to come on the show, Jeffrey. That's great.
Well, next time we got to do both. We both do the same letter. We'll come up with the. If it's A, we'll both do A. We'll both do A. We'll both do B.
Z. Okay. For 0 points. That's what my T-ball team.
No, that don't work. No. Come up with a better one.
Zephyr.
There you go.
That's it.
You win.
So AB.
John Griffin wins the game. He wins a green rock.
I win because I went last?
No, because you came up with Zephyrs because you looked at the screen and someone gave it to you.
What this proves, folks, is that Phil and I know the alphabet. And we know a lot about stuff that fits in the alphabet, you know. We take suggestions all the time for what's going to happen next.
You know what the funny thing is? I saw on the internet, which is good and bad, that some kids are not going to know the alphabet A to Z in a few years. They're not going to know really if you can go A to Z.
You don't think they'll learn that song?
No, I agree with. Do you agree with everything that everybody says? No, I don't. But I agree that people are not going to, or kids are not going to be able to go A to Z or 1 to 10 because they're just going to hit buttons. It's over there, but can you say what's after 1? What's that button right there?
I don't know. Apple Circle A.
I do.
No, they'll all speak in emojis, dude. The new alphabet is smiley face, heart,
See, I don't.
clapping, poo, meh, and thumbs up. Thumbs up is the worst letter in the alphabet, folks. Whenever the messenger put that thumbs up on there, or we could put a thumbs up in the conversation, it killed all my conversations. It killed a band I was in because we would say something in the messenger. Hey, we should play a gig this Saturday, and we would get a blue thumbs up, and then nobody would know what to say because that means what? So that blue thumbs up is one of the worst things I think they've ever invented. And I like that we get likes. That's great. We prefer the hearts and the happiness and the cares and that stuff. But those little blue thumbs up, I protest that. That's my protest. That's it. Who's got a blue thumb? Everybody got green thumbs. Or white, yellow, black, green, orange, black, pink, all those colors. But I've never seen a blue thumb. There ain't no real Smurfs. There's not even any blue food. Actually, when I paint, sometimes I get a blue thumb, so I take that all back. I take it all back, folks. At any rate, Phil and John Zone, number 45. We got anything left in us, buddy?
I'm just listening to you talk.
It's good. It feels good to talk. Today I went to see my friend Jimmy, who works on my car all the time, and he couldn't find out what was wrong with my car. But we took a drive and we played pool at his house. And then I went and saw my wife at work, and I just caught her on a break outside, so I saw her right away. Then I went to the record shop and I bought records. And it was sunshine all day long, and I decided that it was a pretty damn good day. So we decided to do the show, brought to you by New Cow Beer. What's it called?
Spotted Cow.
Mm-hmm. Brought to you by Spotted Cow, and the Backyard Tire Fire, and the Sunbeards of the world, and my friend Mark Chilton from Florida.
We might have a guest from Wisconsin next weekend.
We're probably going to have a guest next week from Wisconsin, and one from, where is he from? No,
Here's a big hint.
yeah, that's the one guest we're trying to work on next week. Well,
What
after
is that, John?
Don Black,
Don't
maybe
say it.
we're done with the show.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that basically what I was trying to get to is that we're having a couple good guests next week. Adam Grule and Nathan Blake Lynn, most likely. I'm working on both of them. So we can have two musical guests next week, hopefully.
You're not supposed to say their name in advance until we sign the contract.
Listen, then they'll start coming back, and then when Billy Strings comes on, they'll all want to be here. And then the people that were here first, before Billy Strings came on the show, because we'll probably have like 400 viewers that night, I'm guessing. And the 7 people that stick with us and have been watching our show, Jeff Blackman, Jeff Singley, a lot of Jeffs, Eason Bishop, Bob Hagerman, all you guys. Sheila,
Okay,
you guys are
Eason, I'll get you a beer with a big mug. Jeff, I'll get you some candy and.
Before we got big, before we blew up, So we got big guests in the future, folks. Big guests are happening. We're gonna have some return guests. We're gonna have guests for 5 records. If you want to come on and tell a joke, you can come on and tell a joke.
We have no jokes, that's for sure. We're just doing this because I don't know. We're doing it.
We might have
Obviously,
we might have a Todd Snyder themed show where we just have people come on and tell their Todd Snyder story without Todd Snyder on the show.
Yeah.
He's probably the only thing we've talked about.
Phil, I paint on records. I miss all you, whoever's watching the show. If you're doing it on a Friday night and a beautiful sunny night, well, thank you for watching. Can't wait to see it all. I miss you all.
Kind of a big deal.
I miss my music. I miss my friends.
Elizabeth Baran. Yeah, come on and do 5 records for us, Baron. Come on and do 5 records with us. Anybody's welcome to come do 5 records. All you have to do really is get a hold of me before the show, send me a message, and let me know you're interested, and we'll bring you on the show.
I had no clue what the hell Zoom was like when we started this shit. You asked me 46 weeks ago, you have Zoom? Why don't you do this? And this is how this started. I mean, everybody else.
Don't worry, keep talking.
But it's funny that, I mean, I'm sure most people did, or I'm lagging behind that technology, but it's funny, but I really don't like it. I know that's what we have to do with. I'm not going to get into that.
We're just building it.
I might quit the show next weekend because I want to do it live or nothing. I don't know.
It's always going to be live, remember.
I might do. I just might smash the computer like the guitar and just it's over with. Unless it's live, it's it's Memorex. I don't know.
No,
bunch of bullcrap. I want to see live band. I don't want. I'm tired of streaming. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of streaming.
Yeah, we all feel that, Phil. We're all working.
I love you all. I love you all. I'm tired of it. Yeah, I'm sure you are too, but you're streaming because you're watching us. The smart people are out there fishing and camping and doing, not watching this show.
Well, Phil, got anything last to say to everybody?
What, are you kicking me off?
No, the show's gonna, we're gonna keep going. What do you think? It's up to you. Does your contract go for more than 2 hours?
It's more than 2 hours? March Madness is on. The dog's got to go potty, and I go have. All right, I love you. Bye.
So say what you want to say. Tell me you love them. If you don't, if you do, if you want to stay on and then leave it open. If you want to leave it open and come back and talk in a minute.
Are you closing down?
No, I'm just going to end the show online, dude.
Okay, we're going to close the show. Thank you for joining the Phil and John Zone tonight. Thank you, Scott Tipping, for coming on. Thank you, John, for having me. To everyone out there in the watching the show, I miss you. I miss music, art. I miss smiles. I miss goofiness. I miss people being real, because I'm being real, and most people I deal with are real. If I like real people, and the people who are watching this are pretty much real, goofy or not, But I just want to say I hope to see you all soon. I'm tired of doing this stuff. I really am. We'll continue doing this. We're gonna do it to the day I die. But it's just talking to the goddamn screen. I want to give everybody a hug.
We will. We'll be hugging everybody before we know.
I see ya.
I love you.
Woo!
We'll get the theme song out. And,
Theme song for you. Wait, before we go any farther,
Wow.
you've gone too long without a theme song. It's time. In a time of little joy, two guys from Illinois took fate in their own hands and sent the show out to the land. Art's not gonna get in here. Music plays for your good cheer. Think you're ready, then grab a beer. Come on and watch the Phil and John show. Phil and John show. They're showing up and there's nowhere to go. Well, Phil and John show. Phil and John show. They're playing so hot that it's melting the snow. Yeah, Phil and John show. Phil and John show. Don't know where this will go. Phil and John show.
thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week with Adam Grule and Nathan Blake Lynn. Adam Grule, of course, was named Nathan Blake Lynn of On the Mash and other bands. And really good stuff coming up, folks. So we'll just keep tuning back in. Thank you. See you next Friday.